I'll say it again, Dennis Allen. If you don't have Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill taking snaps against the Bucs on Monday Night Football, December 5th, I'm going to jump in front of a bus.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm making that my flex of the year.
Oh. I've won 4 in a row.
If you hadn't won, you can't lose parlays.
Who's the guy in Game of Thrones that constantly was it Greyjoy? The guy that gets his dick cut off?
Yeah, Reek.
Yeah, that's Derek Carr.
And then he's so great in knowing just when to stop being great so the team can be future great. Jake, as an aside, how excited do you get during flex season? On today's Pardon My Take, week 11 of the NFL, we recap every game, fastest 2 minutes. A lot of things happened, a lot of moving and shaking, a little bit of more clarity on who's good, who's not. So we're going to go through every single game on Sunday. We got Football Guy of the Week. We've got Who's Back of the Week. It is a Monday in football season. Nothing better. Well, there is one thing better. The Game Time app. Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. If you haven't given the Game Time app a shot yet, you don't know what you're waiting for. You guys are going to love this app. We've been using Game Time all year. Billy and Jake went to the Dolphins-Jets game.
I'm actually using the Game Time app tonight. I'm going to the Syracuse game at Barclays.
Oh, awesome. Hell yes.
Wild.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That is wild. Who are they playing?
With the boys?
Richmond.
Another boys
With
pick?
the boys?
Different
we get a
boys.
boys pick?
Yeah,
Get some good seats?
Damn.
Yeah, Game Time app.
All right, so
Yeah.
if you're using the Game Time app for the first time, download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed if you're trying to go to MSG on Monday night to see Jake and the boys. Barclays to see Jake and the boys take on, who are they playing? Richmond. Huge game. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab, create a login, and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Today is Monday, November 21st, week 11. And before we get started, we want to wish a congratulations to our friends up north, the Toronto Argonauts, the Grey Cup.
Fantastic game.
Great season.
His uncle, very good friend.
Very good friend. We start in Foxborough, where Zach Wilson was running a Coors Light special 9 for 22. The game was a punt fest as Braden Joanna Man has the Jets still searching for theirs. And Michael Lottie-Dottie, we like to parlati, added another 7 punts for the Patriots. In a matchup of which quarterback sucks more, the vacuum cleaner sucked better, and it was another M.A. Jones who came up huge as Marcus ran his way to victory with a punt return touchdown with 5 seconds left. Jets plus 3.5. Some spread. Patriots 10, Jets 3.
To Detroit we go for the Browns and the Bills. The Bills went across a body of water as Stephon Bay of Diggs went scuba diving in hopes of smoking a victory cigar. The run police were out in full force despairing Buffalo's offense, only to forget that they have Devin Little Singletary's magic. Everything he does just turns them on as he rushed for 86 yards and a score. The game was a blowout, but unfortunately Donovan fucked the Peoples Jones scored with 30 seconds left to screw the Bills backers. Hey Teach.
Yeah, boom?
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Bills 31, Browns 23.
Down to Indianapolis, where Jeff Saturday, Jeff Saturday's all right. Jalen Flirts was bumbling as the Eagles' 1 seed hinged on his play, but he kept grinding and was able to dig deep and farm. There's only a win out of an otherwise poor Philadelphia performance. Hey Siri, honey, subscribe to Pardon My Take and play Fly Eagles Fly. Eagles 17, Colts 16. We screwed up some computers there, huh?
Sorry.
In Houston, where in a plot twist, Kendall Roy Fuller and Logan Roy Thomas played on the same team for once as the Commanders let their way star shine bright, cruising to a victory.
We don't talk about the cruises, Boom.
Casey Anthony Toohill wrapped up a Texans ball carrier and then acted all innocent, but everyone knew that he did it. Cheer up, Texans fans. The Astros just won a World Series without cheating, so you've got that going for you, which is nice. They've actually won 3 more games in Houston than the Texans have all season long. It's an Astros time, and all 3 of those games are against Philadelphia teams as well. Commanders 23, Texans 10.
In Atlanta, where the Bears met the Falcons in a battle of Billy Football's dreams. Speaking of Met, Cole had a highlight catch as the ball met his hand in the first half for a big gain. Cordarrelle Reuben Patterson, a.k.a. the Kobe Stopper, slithered through the kickoff defense for his record-breaking 9th kickoff return for a touchdown. Breaking moves. Breaking moves. LeBron James just tweeted, when I saw Cordarrelle Patterson get drafted by the Vikings in 2013, I said to my boys, that guy is going to break the kickoff return record someday. The Bears had one last drive fall flat as Fields' pass to David Montgomery Burns smothered the last chance at a Bears victory. Falcons 27, Bears 24.
We go to the Meadowlands, where Giants quarterback Daniel got thrown to the Lions' den. Aiden Abetten Hutchinson got away with another interception, and it's soup season for Campbell as he went right at Chunky Tay Clam Crowder. Jared Kushner-Goff said Ivanka win and is currently living rent-free in the minds of Giants fans. No cap, but Jamal Billiams was fedorable and got himself fitted for a hat trick. Sombrero. Lions 31, Giants 18.
In Minnesota, where many people have been saying don't rush to judgment on the 8-1 Vikings, we must wait for all the Daks to come out. Dallas put on their Tony Cowboy Pollard and ran the ball down Minnesota's throat. And let's hope Ezekiel Elliott Ness doesn't stay in town because Viking fans will need a drink after this whomping. Anytime Nick Mullins and Adam Thielen appear on a telecast, you're going to be dealing with some problematic footage as Big D goes to Cumtown, R.I.P. Cowboys 40, Vikings 3.
Up to Mile High, where Broncos fans are calling him Nathaniel Take Off Your Pants and Hack It because this guy's coaching like a jerk-off. After a prophetic pregame statement from Coach Hackett that somebody has to win, the game went into overtime and was headed to a tie, but in a touching tribute to my good friend Elon Musk's Tesla autopilot system, the Broncos secondary wasn't able to recognize a man by himself being targeted by a car. The Raiders take down the Broncos 22-16.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston down in NOLA, such a fine sight to see. It's McVay, my lord, what's he coaching for? He should have taken the job on TV. Come on, Perkins, Tigers lurking, and Jameis's soul is hurting.
Saints go marching 27-20. And that was week 11 fastest 2 minutes, brought to you by our friends Chevy. They are the unstoppable Chevy Silverado. Learn more at Chevy.com. The greatest truck ever created, the Chevy Silverado. Again, learn more at Chevy.com. And thank you to Chevy Silverado for sponsoring the fastest 2 minutes. Week 11 in the books. We're stepping into fourth quarter of Chargers Chiefs. And we will update you after that. But week 11 in the books. Great week. Great week 11. I feel like we learned some stuff. There was kind of some duds of games. Not a ton of scoring in the first slate, but some compelling storylines coming out of this week. Things we learned.
I really learned a lot about one team today.
There's
one team that I'm not smiling. It might sound like I'm smiling.
Yeah.
And it might sound like I'm about to take a victory lap. But I am against all forms of running, so I will not be taking a victory lap yet.
Yeah, there's...
but I am...
Yeah.
I am going to enjoy talking about this week's NFL action.
Yes, we do it chronologically, so it will be the last game we talk about. So for the people who maybe are on our side, you can just wait for that, and the people who have been sickos and perverts and weirdos listening to us have to lament a certain team going 8-1 up until this week. This won't be fun for you, but let's hop in. Let's do chronological order. Let's start with Patriots-Jets. Patriots 10, Jets 3.
Now, that's actually not chronological order because for some reason this game started like 15 minutes late.
No,
Did we ever figure out what was going on with that?
No idea.
It's classic Belichick.
Power outside the stadium.
Yeah, Belichick
Okay.
absolutely.
In and outside the stadium.
Belichick
the surrounding area.
he had one of those EMPs like from Ocean's 11 that fried all the electronics.
Yeah, so it did start a little late, but Patriots 10, Jets 3, an absolute defensive slugfest, snooze fest offensively, 3-3 tie going into the last 30 seconds until we had a Braden Mann line drive punt to Marcus Jones, who returned it 84 yards for the first punt return touchdown this season, and the Patriots win 10-3. I don't know where we want to start. I mean, there's a lot of...
Well, this was...
We should start with the winners, Hank. Yeah, let's start with the Patriots.
It was the first game in the last 40 seasons in which the first touchdown scored was a defense or special teams touchdown in the final minute of the game.
Also,
so this is a game that we've never seen before.
It's a
game of Gami.
Our guy Stathole Sports, who has stats backing up to 1999, he said the first time he could find that the special teams and extra point scored more than both offenses.
Yeah.
So that was 7 points at the end by special teams and extra point, more than the 6 points that both offenses were able to produce with field goals.
Interesting.
It's crazy.
So Hank, the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mac Jones. He's a winner.
Because I think we know we have a lot of other things we got to discuss.
Mac Jones wins football games.
Yeah, one of the worst games I've ever watched. I was just miserable. It was a miserable viewing experience. There was really no fun, no joy till the end. We did win. We did cover.
Which is crazy. That's an all-time bad beat.
Yeah. So
I had Jets plus 3.5.
I was texting friends being like, we need to get a pick six, which was in play because Zach Wilson is one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever had to watch. That was in play, and that was my only thinking of how we could win this game is like we need a pick six, touchdown, we can win and cover. Not even factoring in a punt return. But yeah, it was I guess we won. I'm happy. It was gross. We suck.
At least when the Patriots had the ball.
Play calling. I will say this about the play calling, and I'm not a football mind. You guys, Billy played football. You guys know football. I don't know football play calling, to save my life. I just played Madden. It drives me fucking insane when, it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and we just throw the ball to like 3 yards past. Just take a shot. Like try and not like 3rd and 15, not 3rd and 14, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. Just have the receivers run a route past the line to gain, and then throw them a pass.
The best way to sum up this game, because there was no offense, but Mac Jones didn't play bad. He just, he
just dink and dunk.
Yeah, right. There was a stretch where he was 10 for 10 in a row for 134 yards, and in that stretch, he was sacked 4 times. So in the 10 for 10 stretch, he was sacked 4 times. That was the type of game we were dealing with, where Mac Jones actually played pretty well, especially when you consider the guy he was playing against in Zach Wilson. Also, Hank, I'll say that Matthew Judon is just an absolute game wrecker. He has 13.5 sacks on the season. He's a fucking beast. But yeah, a win is a win is a win. And now we should probably talk about Zach Wilson, and oh boy, is it bad.
Well, here's a fun stat. They had more punts than he had completions today.
PFT, here's another fun stat. Mm-hmm. In the second half, Zach Wilson had 4 completions for 12 yards.
Oh, wow.
But, okay, go ahead.
Because I had another fun stat.
Okay, yeah.
He had 44 net yards on 26 dropbacks today.
Oof. Okay,
that's like less than 2 yards per dropback.
Yeah, so he was 9 for 22 for 77 yards, not net yards, 77 yards, and 34 of those yards came on one play. He also, and this is probably the bigger issue, afterwards was asked, do you feel like you let the defense down? And he replied, no. Mm-hmm. He also added, I think you have to take into account it's windy as hell out there too, guys.
Good point.
So wind was a factor.
Now,
but there was also a report afterwards that the Jets locker room was maybe not so happy that Zach Wilson was walking around not taking accountability when the punter and the special teams took accountability and the defense played lights out and held the Patriots to 3 points, and Zach Wilson was that bad, but he doesn't. Well, you know what? He can't because he says he doesn't care about stats.
The exact quote that was said, sources inside the Jets' losing locker room told SNY that Zach Wilson was walking around after the game, quote, like he isn't the problem, end quote. I would like to know what that walk looks like. I think I know what that walk looks like. Basically saying, like, your shit doesn't stink.
Yeah.
Is what they're getting at. Like,
yeah.
I would like Zach Wilson after this game to wear whatever scarlet letter the team chooses for him to, like, just walk around with your hand raised and don't say anything for the next day, but like, hey, that one was on me, guys.
Yeah.
Just say, like, hey, my bad.
Yeah. All right. So Billy, before you talk, I want to help you out, okay? Because I actually, and you might not realize this, I have been here because the comparison I've been making is the Jets this season feel like the 2018 Chicago Bears, and I say that because the Chicago Bears in 2018 were an elite defense. This Jets team has an elite defense. So good. The quarterback was in their second year, second overall pick. I looked back, and it was actually through week 11, both teams had 5 games so far in the season with under 200 pass yards. They both had given up about the same amount of points, and it goes to the same problem of your team can be good and your quarterback's bad and having to separate the two, because I was hurt very badly by that team because I was like, oh, it's going to be okay. Mitch is going to be okay, when deep down I knew maybe not. So with that, go ahead.
This is one of the hardest. This was one of the worst Jets losses, I think, since the butt fumble, to be honest. Just like, it's pretty bad. And that's just because the game was so close the whole time. In a low-scoring game, in my head, I was like, this is the game we can win. This is the game we can win. We're just going to break it through with like one run. We're going to get one touchdown drive. Just something on the ground probably, and it's going to break open, and then we're going to manage the clock and get it down and hopefully win 10-3. But it's the coin. It's the coin. We couldn't win this game.
All
the coin.
Right. I didn't see that coming.
The coin was 10-0 on picks going into week 11 and is now 11-0. The coin says that the Patriots were going to beat the Jets, so we're at the mercy of the coin. The coin saw us almost winning the game, and the coin was like, boom, punt return.
You never had a chance.
Right.
Yeah, you were going up against something much more powerful than the wind.
Yeah,
that's the coin.
The coin was
I think you have to take into account it's windy as hell out there too, guys.
I had actually friends at the game, former college teammates.
Okay, now were they at the game or were they like 100 miles?
You've
away
had some
from the game?
sketchy weather
No,
reports.
I had these guys at the game. They were bundled
What
up.
did they say? Was it
They
windy as
said
hell?
It's windy as fuck.
Oh,
One
as
of them-
fuck. We have to,
Actually-
okay. So I heard we need to figure this out because it was either windy as fuck or windy as hell.
In the Snapchat stories they posted, you can hear the wind.
Oh,
okay, that
So
sounds.
that's
That sounds.
Yeah.
How many miles an hour did it sound like?
I don't know. It
okay,
was one of
yeah,
those.
that's a
That
lot.
sounds
But
fucking
that was
windy.
about
I
15
didn't look
to
at, but
18.
you could tell
crosswinds.
that it wasn't the day to throw the football, and the Jets' run game wasn't,
existent.
exactly.
Mac
so,
Jones did throw the football decent.
I know, but
What do you have, like 240
Some would
yards?
say
Yeah,
very well.
He threw for 23 for 27, 246 yards.
Remember, Belichick deferred so he could choose which way they were going.
Yep.
And they were going with the win in the fourth quarter,
Got
so
it.
the win would be against the Jets. And look, that's some of the genius shit that Belichick does to fuck with rookie quarterbacks. You can actually see the trajectory of the ball.
Okay, we joke about Zach Wilson not being a rookie quarterback, but calling him a rookie quarterback.
mean,
you know that
yeah.
he's not a
Yeah,
rookie,
but like
right?
he's not
a
a
young
rookie
quarterback. Sorry. He didn't play his whole first year.
Listen,
so.
I don't blame you what you're doing right now because you definitely have the cognitive dissonance. You're like lying to yourself. You don't want to admit that Zach Wilson is the root
the
of,
thing is,
of
I think
all
it's
your problems
the
right now.
Patriots.
No. I think it might be Zach
It's
Wilson.
probably Zach.
'Cause-
What about the
So,
accountability part?
You know what?
The
You
accountability-
know what makes me mad is now Billy's walking all around like Zach Wilson isn't the problem.
Yeah,
No.
and the
It's bad
locker
for
room
this
is
locker
not
room.
happy
No,
about it.
we're
Yeah.
not. We are.
Bro to bro.
Bro to bro. Whoa.
Whoa. Are you
going bro to
Are you
bro
broing
already?
me?
No, I'm bro to bro and Zach Wilson.
Okay.
23-year-olds in the workforce, you really sometimes, even when you think that if you didn't throw any interceptions and just played conservative all game, like that would be
No, but
everyone
Billy,
would be
so-
happy with you. But you got to take accountability.
Yeah. So you did when you came in, you're like, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. he did try to throw a few interceptions that were literally off of guys' hands.
That was tipped on the line.
The one to McCourty that he just threw at his chest and Devin McCourty dropped.
And I'm gonna
wasn't
Billy.
It was tipped. If you look at it, it was tipped.
Billy, I'm going to I'm gonna be gracious towards you because I actually understand exactly what you're going through, and it sucks because the Jets have a really good roster.
Yeah.
Like their defense is awesome, and having to deal with the defense being awesome, running game being good, and then there's just one guy who's holding everything back. It's the shittiest feeling in the world. I would say the only plus side, like my comparison to the 2018 Bears, that Bears defense was not like all young studs. So you at least if the Jets are smart and they're like, hey, we got to rip the Band-Aid off now and try something different, maybe you can salvage everything. But it's bad, Billy. Zach Wilson, he ranks in passer rating, he's 33rd. In completion percentage, he's 34th. In pass TD to interception, he's 32nd. In pass TD to attempts percentage, he's 32nd.
The
He's
thing is,
the worst quarterback in the NFL right now.
the thing is, the ceiling is
Besides
still
Russell
there.
Wilson.
Yeah.
The ceiling is still there. And
Is it?
In switching the quarterback halfway through, be it we take a guy who's behind him right now or we go out and get someone, you're still going to have to go into the offense, get reps, and still have this warm-up period where if we're going to find someone who's going to play,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
it's gotta be
we're not
Trey
saying
now.
no. We're not saying that he's going to be taken out this year.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying next year, like
Big Cat, let me ask you this. Do you think Joe Flacco wins this game?
I think Mike White might win this.
I think Joe Flacco wins this game.
Yeah.
I think so. I was going to be nice and say I'm not calling for Zach Wilson to be benched. I'd like to see Flacco out there.
The problem with Zach Wilson is like he does. That report is very like the fact that he sat up there and they're like, "Do you think that you're the reason why he lost?" Like that defense balled out, held him to 3 points, and he's like, "No." Like, dude, if he played even D plus game, the Jets probably can win that game. Like they were in field goal range once. They had no drives.
But you know, if the running
in the
game,
past missed 2 field goals.
Yeah.
if the running game was there, it would have allowed him to get something else going. But him not turning the ball over, yes, there was the tip that went right into McCourty's hands. But it's just more of, I think, him against Belichick right now in his stage of the career is the bigger road bump. So, like, for example, if you put Joe Flacco in, he'd probably perform better.
Yeah.
But next week, the Joe Flacco versus Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson
against,
hasn't been good, like in the other weeks.
Right, but the arm talent, I know this sounds crazy, but I really think his ceiling's Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, yeah.
He just, I
Can
know
we-
that sounds crazy.
can we-
I know that sounds crazy.
I've been
I
trying to
know
help. I got to bail. I got to bail.
I still think his ceiling.
We need to.
I gotta be like, I don't know what my crazy friend said. I don't know him.
Hey,
I
can you,
still
can you
think
bleep
his
that out,
the ceiling is there.
Billy?
The
Listen,
ceiling is the floor.
Right,
This
but
is
we've seen, like, basically we still, no matter what we do, we have to play in the rest of
the
the
ceiling is the
yes.
cellar.
I agree with
right
you
now.
there,
Right.
and I agree with you. Like this is the hard part. And again, if you go back and listen to 2018 me, I was saying the same shit where I was like, I was trying to convince myself. It just sucks because you know that like he's the guy who's holding everything back, and Joe Douglas and that team has put together a really good roster, and that one piece is missing right now. It's holding him back from winning games.
Now I
know.
do agree that with a high draft pick like that, you can't pull the cord
No, you
entirely
can't.
after
No, you
2
can't.
years. Like that, you need to give players time to develop. Some guys take longer than others to develop. But right now, it's abundantly clear that if he is going to play like that, then he should probably be like, yeah, I fucked that one up today.
I know he needs to take accountability. Young people in
Bro
the
to bro.
workforce, bro to bro. Like sometimes you press a button you're not supposed to, and then you like be like, "How could this possibly be my fault? Why is there a button like this?" But you gotta be like,
he
"Look,
would
I shouldn't
probably
have pressed the button.
Like to
shouldn't have pressed the
delete
button."
those 3.5 hours of footage from
Yeah,
today.
but
Yeah.
also in the end, like
Yeah,
all
he's
of
gonna-
Jets Twitter is ripping him apart. Everyone's
Well,
ripping him
rightfully
apart.
so. Yeah, he's gonna
But we're gonna have
probably
to
be the
play him.
starter next year too. I'm just saying, unless something changes, he is the reason why you're losing these games, and he's the reason why a defense that could take them deep in the playoffs is not going to go deep in the playoffs.
And the coin.
because and the
And
coin.
the coin has us losing next
but-
week.
but-
Congratulations!
oh, thank
on
you.
your Bears beating us.
Yeah.
But then we go on a 5-game win streak after that. So
And then
Huge.
That's when
then
we
he-
see-
Okay, so sidebar, Big Cat.
Yeah.
I actually think that Billy really believes in this coin,
Well,
and
it's
that's
not-
why
hasn't
he's
been wrong.
saying that like he actually thinks that they're going to go to the AFC Championship game.
No,
Yes.
so they're
because of the coin.
He's like, Zach Wilson will prove that he's
Yes.
a playoff quarterback
Right.
when he gets to the
Billy
AFC
truly
Championship
believes
game.
in the power of
we're
the coin.
we're in store for a 5-game win streak after this Bears game,
Yeah.
where Zach Wilson is going to show he is the guy. So we're just going off of the coin's metrics, and it hasn't been wrong yet.
What's up with Elijah Moore on that last kick return of the game?
I think
That to me looked like he was trying to lose on purpose.
I don't want to agree with you because we tried to get him the ball this game. It didn't really work out.
Well,
This was
I mean,
supposed to
you
be-
can't get him the ball with
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
It was
Define tried.
Belichick knows the Foxborough weather. Like he's got a farmer's almanac that
Okay.
knows.
now
that
we're getting
shit.
into like DARPA shit with
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Belichick, like he's creating weather machines.
Yeah,
when
but
he
like-
missed Braxton Berrios, who was standing like 5 feet away from him, that was.
but you can see the ball. I mean, all of the Patriots miss kicks. Like you, that
but
was
Mac
all during
Jones
the.
I think the bigger problem was that at times Zach Wilson gets lost in the pocket and he gets dizzy and starts running backwards like he just did a dizzy bat race when he does a spin move.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, like you've been one that's told us about this, he doesn't run towards downfield. He doesn't run towards the opponent's end zone. He doesn't keep his eyes downfield.
doesn't
He
step
drifts
up.
backwards.
Yeah.
What he should have done this game was in those situations, he should have been like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna like be a workhorse and like be Justin Fields and just go get."
Well, he's
5
not
yards.
Justin Fields.
He's
in
not.
terms of athleticism.
But in terms of athleticism, but like go pick up the yards with your feet. Try to earn your team's like respect by putting your body on the line and being a gamer and just like try to get those yards. Not trying to be nice with it. Just like go get that 5 yards. Go put your shoulder down and try to earn these guys.
Yeah, he said he doesn't
respect.
care about stats.
That's the thing
Yeah.
is like
Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett fucking puts his shoulder down and
I
like
agree
will
with
get
all
5
this.
yards. He you know.
he's not a gamer.
You're-
I think you're exactly
too,
right.
Like Zach Wilson, you are too good looking to actually play like a pretty boy.
Mm-hmm. But he is playing like a pretty boy.
So you gotta fucking put your shoulder
He's
down.
also. It also feels like sometimes he's playing like he's still at BYU, and they're playing like Utah State. And
Exactly.
it's like this is not going to work because everyone is significantly faster and heavier and stronger. So when you spin, the end of the spin is a dude who's 300 pounds jumping on your back. Not the end of a spin is like, oh, you have 10 yards to walk around and then throw it deep. That's the difference.
I actually think that Billy's right. Like, if the more good-looking a quarterback is, the more they're going to call you soft if, in fact, you exhibit any sort of softness. Like, Justin Herbert got to the league, everybody's like, oh, soft Cali boy, but then he just started running people over and breaking his own rib, and they're like, okay, we like this guy.
Yeah. Here's the good news, Billy. The Bears' defense is terrible. The Bears, what are you shaking your head?
Max just I'm nothing.
What?
he's
the
ugly,
fumbles?
bro.
I'm upset about the fumble. Max is just laughing and having a great time.
Oh, that ain't no fun when the
I
rabbits
thought
got
you were
the
laughing
gun,
at what
huh?
PFT was saying.
Ain't no
I thought
fun
you
when
were-
the rabbits got the gun.
Let's go Chargers.
Oh man, Hank, doesn't that stink to lose a bet and have someone smirk?
Oh, it's disrespectful. It's fine.
Oh, I love you.
Sorry
I love
for
you, Max.
interrupting.
No, I mean we've just been going in circles. At the end of the day, Zach Wilson is the problem. I still think the Jets are a very good team, and they will probably win. Next week, Billy, if Zach Wilson doesn't torch that Bears defense, like that will
Yeah.
be a very big problem.
Also, I think
hopefully there's no wind.
Also, he was so scared of throwing interceptions after the last game that when he was looking downfield, he was hesitant.
But that is like if that's an actual thing, then he's just never going to be the guy.
But I think it's more of the Belichick effect. I think it was two in his mind. The New York
Billy,
media
Billy,
is cruel.
just
No, don't blame Belichick. Just blame the coin. That actually
Yeah.
makes more sense than all
Coin
the
is
other
better.
stuff that you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, so Patriots are now the Jets have just like the AFC East is insane. Every team is good, and the Patriots are now in third, ahead of the Jets who fall to the last place spot. All right, let's do some more. Let's go to the next game, which actually is there's a link between the Jets Patriots game and the Eagles Colts game because the Eagles win 17-16, and it was the first time the Eagles have won trailing by 10 points or more in the fourth quarter since the 2010 Deshaun Jackson walk-off punt return.
Oh, that's
which
crazy.
was the first thing I thought of when the Patriots returned. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson, miracle at the Meadowlands. So Eagles survive what looked like a game that they were going to lose because they played sloppy. The Colts came out, kind of punched them in the mouth. And Jeff Saturday is our NFL coach. There was just they kept on showing clips of him doing push-ups and running around the stadium and all that stuff. But the Eagles survive, and it feels like like one of those gritty wins that you need if you're gonna continue marching forward. If you're the Eagles,
Yeah. I mean, the Colts continued to do what I think Saturday's going to have them do, which is just be cover machines.
Yeah.
And they played physically. And I read that going into this game that that Saturday's his emphasis this week was just doing one-on-one drills and just making everybody tougher. Because we need to simplify everything. Football's a simple game. We make it complicated sometimes. So he's just having them like just work out. Like, just get stronger, and then everybody will be better at their job. And so I got fucked up going to this game because it was a roof bet. It was a roof bet, and Jim Irsay pulled the biggest okey doke of all okey dokes. I felt targeted by it. Actually, he tweeted out that the roof was going to be open on Sunday, and Jeff Saturday had the boys training outside in the snow, and then like 5 minutes later he put a psych on me and said, no, we're closing the roof. It was brutal. I can't help but think that had something to do with the loss today. But no, I actually do think that the Colts are going to continue to be like super physical. Maybe not like the most electric team, probably won't put up the most points, but probably won't. They're not going to like roll over for anybody like they were before.
First opening drive TD the Colts have had since Christmas of 2021. So that's, I mean, right there, they're showing competency that they haven't shown this entire season. And it does feel like they have, like, they're just playing a little bit harder, more disciplined. They still have huge flaws. Their offense, like, after that opening drive, they basically did nothing. Like, the longest drive they had was 34 yards after that. So
Matt Ryan still looks like a giant target back there.
Right. And Jonathan Taylor, I mean, like, the Eagles defense actually deserves a lot of credit because they got gashed on Monday Night Football against the Commanders. They got gashed in the opening drive. And then their run defense kind of stepped up, like, nutted up and played really good for the rest of the game. And outside of the fumbles that they've had and, like, the costly penalties, like, they were able to right the ship in the second half. Comeback win. Jalen Hurts, comeback, makes the big plays with his feet. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those games that, like, if the Eagles had lost, I've been like, there's something wrong. And now I'm looking at it, which is stupid because it's all reactionary, being like, that's just a hard-nosed win that you got to learn how to win those type of games if you're going to have, Super Bowl aspirations.
It definitely makes you feel better if you're an Eagles fan after that game. But still, I think there's some issues.
I mean, the fumbles, like, they had another one where, I mean, A.J. Brown had got punched out, but still, like, the costly turnovers, the costly penpenalties, like, it feels
their offense just also doesn't look as dynamic as it was.
Yeah, they just run the ball.
It looks a little like they're playing with cement shoes on. I didn't realize that Sirianni was so emotionally attached to Frank Reich, and that this had become a personal revenge game for him. I knew that they were boys, but I didn't realize, like, after the game, he was like screaming at Colts fans, being like, what? That's for firing my boy.
Yeah.
And then in his press conference, he said, "You don't want to know what I think if he should be here or not. You guys can probably imagine what I really think. It was sweet to come here, especially with what happened in this organization the last couple of weeks, and get a win. I'm emotional because I love Frank Reich. He's one of the best damn football coaches I've ever been around. I was hoping he and I could coach against each other in this game." So he's like really pissed off about it. Like it was actually, in fact, personal for Nick Sirianni, who I think Nick Sirianni is just like a very emotionally available guy.
He is. He wears his heart on his sleeve. It feels like he's always in the middle of, like, having a temper tantrum / cry fest.
Yeah.
It's just always there.
It's kind of like when Max roots for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And he actually does look like he's going to cry because he's so excited.
Right. And he's saying "said" and he's just screaming shit. Max, how do you feel about this win? This was a gutsy win.
I feel good. It was obviously a roller coaster of emotions. After the first drive, I was like, this run defense is done. There's no way we're going to be able to stop anybody. We have Aaron Jones coming up, and then Derrick Henry right after, and I was like, we're going to lose every single one of these games because we can't stop a single person on the run. And then out of nowhere, we just flipped the script, and defense tightened up, and everything looked good on the defensive side of the ball, and then the offense went stale. But at the end of the day, it was nice to see, like, you have a drive to win the game, and Sirianni put the ball in Jalen Hurts. Every big play was like, Hurts, you're going to go get these yards. You're going to go get these yards. And it's nice to see your quarterback be put in those situations and, like, be outman the other guy.
Are you a little worried about Nick Sirianni doing the trying to get them off sides? And
no one has ever been bailed out harder
ever.
In their life.
So for people who didn't watch the game, there was a minute and I think 40 seconds left. Or no, it was actually the 2-minute warnings, right after the 2-minute warning. So there's 2 minutes left. The Eagles had 2 timeouts, and it was 4th and 2 on the 8-yard line. And so you're thinking to yourself, they got to obviously convert this. But if they don't, they still will have, 30 seconds left or whatever it may be. And Nick Sirianni has the guys go to the line, look like they're about to kneel down or do a quarterback dive.
Sneak, but it was from the 2.5. They needed 2.5 yards.
Right.
So
and the way they were set up was actually more in the victory formation. They had 2 guys behind them that were facing Jalen Hurts.
Right. So then they call call a timeout. So now they have 1 timeout. So basically, if they don't get the 4th and 2, the game is over, and it's a Jalen Hurts sneak where it looked like he was stopped, and then he gets it. They win the game, but yeah, that would have been a situation where Nick Sirianni would have had some tough questions. He also had a drive, which I was baffled by, where they got the ball on their own 15, and he just ran the ball up the middle 3 times and punted. It was in the 3rd quarter, and it feels like something about the play calling, what's going on.
It was one of the you screamed at me from the cave about
I made you come in.
the drive.
I made you come in because I was gonna be mad.
But it was one of those. It was we have
Put the camera on yourself, Max.
We have 8 different TVs on, and it was one of those things where we got the ball back. I was like, all right, let's go on a drive. I look over at another TV for a second. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We're punting. And then you were just they just ran 3 times right into the middle.
I was pissed. Yeah. And I needed you to sit next to me so I could blame it on you. And guess what? I didn't even bet on the Eagles in that game. This is where the Super Bowl future actually pays off, that I feel invested game by game, being the 1 seed's on the line. So you're off the hook.
I think
but it was a problem.
On those play calls, it wasn't so much about the play call itself, but I think they were all read options. I think that Hurts was misreading the read option a lot today.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if it was something different that the Colts were doing that they weren't expected for, but he was consistently making the wrong decision on whether to keep it or whether to hand it off.
Yeah.
And it just brought their entire offense to a standstill. Luckily, I think Ndamukong Suh might work out. And
Linval Joseph, who I didn't realize they got 2.
I think Ndamukong Suh might still be a fucking monster.
And they still get Jordan Davis back.
When Suh tackles somebody, it looks like a crime.
Yeah.
It looks violent. He tackles people in ways that you don't necessarily see coming or other people do. It looks like a small car crash every time it happens.
Yes. It was weird seeing him out there. It's oh shit. Yeah, he is back. What was he wearing? 74?
74.
Well,
it looks big.
It's an offensive lineman.
That's a bad number.
Yeah,
that's a
very
bad.
It's a bad number, but it makes him look big though. Chunky boy.
All right, so last thing I had about this game, I think it should just be a rule in the world that if you basically cry on TV, you can't just pretend it didn't happen and reverse your ways. I'm talking about Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher said today, before, I think it was in the pregame and at halftime, he said you can see the immediate impact of Jeff Saturday on this Colts team. Bill Cowher, you cried last week, dude. You cried. You cried in front of us. It's like the fucking, it's like the Mark Brunell. Like Mark Brunell, I remember when you cried. You can't cry on national television and then just be like, no, that wasn't me. I didn't cry last week.
Yeah, he did cry, and I believe he said it's a disgrace to the coaching profession. He listed guys that were on that staff. He listed Gus Bradley. I don't know if Bill Cowher has ever watched the NFL.
Yeah.
Gus Bradley had a pretty good shot at being a head coach. I think he had 4 years. I think he averaged 3 wins a season. I think we have a pretty good idea what Gus Bradley can do.
Did he list John Fox?
He listed John Fox,
who's been in the NFL for 40 years.
Yep.
And he's had more than enough chances.
Got a good idea. I think Bill Cowher just got mad because his buddies didn't get a job.
Right, and I know he didn't actually, there weren't actual tears, but he cried because you could see, you could hear in his voice, and they did the thing that I love whenever we get serious tone on these pregame shows, because it basically was most of these pregame shows, it's you say something for 30 seconds, you say something for 30 seconds, Terry Bradshaw laughs, kick to Carissa, right? This was 2.5 minutes of Bill Cowher just getting the camera and nothing else. Everyone was sitting there doing their, good point, coach. You cried. That's a cry speech. Then you pretend it didn't happen.
When it goes to the solo shot on you, and you're talking to the camera.
Yes.
Because sometimes guys get little monologues where they get to talk about something that's important to them, but they always do the weird thing where they reach out and they touch each other. They touch the person's arm in the middle of it. They're like, listen, I think the Jets got a great defense now this year, but they got to figure out an offense, and then they reach out and touch each other back. This was just like Bill Cowher. And he didn't cry, but his chin started to quiver a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was a cry. I don't even think Bill Cowher can produce tears. Actually, no, he is a cry coach. He definitely is a cry coach. Oop, Chargers just scored.
Too much time on the clock for Patrick Mahomes.
Too much time on the clock for Patrick Mahomes.
I have to tweet that.
But yeah, it was. I just
Way
was
too much
shocked.
time.
I was shocked that Bill Cowher thought he could get away with just saying, "You can see the impact that Jeff said." You made a take. Just own it. That's fine. You were wrong. You cried. You can't take those tears back.
Well, I actually think that Jim Irsay is a secret genius for hiring Jeff Saturday, because it turns out Jim Irsay was right, that he doesn't have all the baggage that comes along with being an NFL head coach where you're afraid of stuff. So it's like, yeah, just hire more. I actually bet that if you had a competent offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, you could just hire straight up a rah-rah guy that didn't necessarily have any experience coaching, but was like the ultimate motivator. Dude, Gary V.
Yeah.
Imagine Gary V. as an NFL head
the
coach.
quarterback would be pretending
Dead.
they kill themselves
It would-
every morning.
The quarterback would be playing like it was literally their last chance to
your
do
whole
anything.
family. Kill your whole family
I-
every morning when you're in the shower.
I think Gary V would be a competent head coach if he had a good offensive staff around him.
It is true though that there is something to be said with Jeff Saturday does not care. Like he obviously cares that he wants to win, but it's not like his entire profession, his entire what he's worked for is this moment, and if he fails, it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? He's just going to go back to TV.
Yep.
So he's fine.
He's easy.
But yeah, the Colts are officially one of the friskiest teams in the end. I feel like they're not going to win a lot of games, but they're going to be in every game.
I'm going to stick betting on Jeff Saturday until he proves me wrong.
Yeah, Monday Night Football against the Steelers coming up. All right, before we get to the next game, a quick word from our friends at Coors Light. Coors Light, greatest beer ever created. That's a fact. The holidays are on their way, and so are the festivities that come along with them. But in between the shindigs and socializing, it's important to pause and make time for the little moments too. Take a second or two to chill this holiday season with Coors Light, the beer that's made to chill. And right now, you can enter for a chance to win a Coors Light Chill Holiday Kit. Stay tuned for details on how to enter. Take a break from the holiday hustle with Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way, you always know when it's time to chill. When you need to hit the reset, just open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment, made to chill. Make time to chill this holiday season and reach for the beer that's made to chill. And go to CoorsLight.com/take for your chance to win an exclusive chill holiday kit complete with sweatsuit, beanie, socks, and gift cards. I also saw Coors Light nail polish on my desk, which is pretty cool.
It changes colors.
It changes
Oh, yeah?
colors.
I love
Coors
that.
Light has thought of it all. No purchase necessary. Ends January 2nd, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Must be legal resident of the 50 U.S. states and D.C., 21 years age or older, void where prohibited. See official rules at Be Live. What is that? Be Live in Chill. Oh, Believe in Chill. No. No, they missed the letter. Believe in Chill. BeLiveInChill.com for entry instructions, odds, prizes, restrictions, etc. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Am I losing my mind? Believe is no. I'm not losing my mind. How do you spell believe? Quick.
BELIEVE.
All right, I'm right. So it's BELIVE.
Yep, there's an E missing.
Yep. So that's Be Live and Chill. All right. Whew. That was close. Thank you to Coors Light, our wonderful sponsor. The best beer ever. I'm gonna have a few Coors Light this week, Thanksgiving week. Perfect time for Coors Light. Okay, Bills 31, Browns 23 in Detroit. The thunder, snow. We got to see all the videos. It was like extracting Marines from a hostile area when we got to see all these videos of Bills players finding a way out of Buffalo.
I actually think that this game ball goes to Bills fans.
Yes.
Because we had Bills fans that would just show up. I guess they just know where the Bills live in their neighborhood.
Well, I think it's just right down the street, yeah.
Yeah, everybody lives like probably in the same neighborhood. So they showed up, dug them out of their own driveways. And it was no joke. It was probably like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 feet of snow. And shout out to the weather people out there. The meteorologists got it right. When I saw 6 feet of snow, I was like, this is going to be like maybe 6 inches.
Right.
Like, trust me, I know a lot of times when people say it's going to be 6 feet, it's quite a bit under 6 feet.
Right.
But in this case, it was actually accurately predicted by the weather people. 6 feet of snow in part of Buffalo. And then the north side of town, I think, got like nothing.
Yeah, no, that's how it works in Buffalo. You can basically live in a different place where half the team just didn't have to deal with anything. The other half had to deal. Who was it? The offensive lineman that the video that went viral of him opening up the garage door and his dog just having to take a piss and being like nowhere to go. Just absolutely nowhere to go. It was fucking insane. So yeah, the Bills got there. They stupid us. Deion Dawkins. Stupid us. We should have had like a little bit of foresight, and I know this is hindsight is 2020, but long week for the Bills. Getting there was very difficult. All these pressures, like you have to worry about your family being snowed in, all these things, and they came out flat. Like they looked like shit for the first quarter. And the Browns do what the Browns do in the first quarter. They always have a great scripted drive where you're like, wow, the Browns look good today.
Yep.
And then the Bills basically, so the first quarter they went 15 yards for 3 points. The next 3 quarters they went 342 yards for 28 points. So the Bills, like there was a moment in time on Sunday where I was like, are the Bills and Eagles both bad? And then they both kind of righted the ship, and the Bills especially so. Their offense looked great in that last drive in the first half, and it was like, yeah, they're back.
So bad news for the AFC because the Bills figured out how to run the football.
Yeah,
and so that's a nice little wrinkle that they don't have to depend on Josh Allen to be like a superhero and basically like RoboCop and run people over all the time. They can now actually just hand the ball off and control the clock that way, which their defense has got to be pretty excited about.
Yes,
not having to be out on the field all the time,
big time,
and it gives them a different look. And so defenses can't do the thing that they've been doing against Josh Allen, which is trying to take it away. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't if he doesn't run you over. But this is a big win, I think, for the Bills because it was a weird week for them.
Yeah,
it was
very weird.
It was a really strange week. I think it just cements that they're. I'm not pressing the panic button.
No, I mean
we're getting close to talking about the panic button for the Bills, but last week was kind of a fluky loss at the very end, and this week it just kind of proved that the Bills they're legit. And also credit to Stefanski for actually just running the football even when they're getting their ass kicked.
Yeah,
later on. Oh
yeah, and the Bills, that was the other part. The Bills ran the ball and they stopped the run.
Yeah,
like they Nick Chubb had 14 carries for 19 yards.
Yep,
that's pretty hard to do against one of the best running backs in the NFL. And yeah, the Bills, I agree. I don't think the panic button was ready. If they had lost this game, it definitely would have been because that would have been 3 in a row and everything looks bad. Now they have a short week. I assume like they should just stay in Detroit. I don't know if they are.
Well, Jared is letting his house out.
Right. We've linked that up. And so now they have another chance like against a Lions team that's starting to look decent to basically like if you can win the Sunday Thursday combo, there's like it feels like you've won 4 games in a row.
Yeah,
because you win games that, and especially a Sunday at noon, like a Thursday at noon, like they will win if they can beat the Lions on Thanksgiving Day. They'll have won 2 games in what feels like 2 days.
Yeah, then you get the mini bye after that.
Yeah,
and you're good to go. The Bills. I still think the Bills are the team to beat in the AFC right now.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is he's stupid, and they fumbled.
He is dumb.
He's stupid in just how good that throw he made tonight where the guy was completely covered and he basically turned around and the ball was just in his hands. Like he just makes throws that are absolutely insane. This game is pretty good. Should we talk about this game as it's ending? All right, wait, one last thing with the Bills Browns as we wait for the Chiefs Chargers to come back on. Sports Illustrated tweeting Amari Cooper is him after he scored the first touchdown of the game. That's it. It's over. I know you said you had a point in like the week 3 when someone did something, but like calling Amari Cooper him for scoring in the first 5 minutes of the Bills-Browns game in week 11 for a Browns team that has 3 wins, that's it. No more.
Anyone can be him.
No more.
Yeah, even Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
For me, it was during the Eagles-Vikings game, the Monday Night Football game, and it was like, who is more him, Stephon Diggs or Jalen Hurts? When I heard somebody say, and that's the game.
The Chiefs just scored a touchdown.
Just scored too much time for Justin Herbert.
This is Patrick Mahomes is so fucking ridiculous.
I'm mad that Kansas City Chiefs fans get Patrick Mahomes and I don't.
It's not fair.
It's not.
It's actually not fair.
Every team should get Patrick Mahomes to play for them.
Could you imagine going into every Sunday and being like, well, like even if we suck, like Mahomes will figure it out. That's what they get to do.
Yeah.
Every Sunday. Like the Chiefs fumble the ball with 2.5 or 4 minutes left. The Chargers go down, score, take the lead. There's a minute and a half left, and it wasn't even a question.
I bet you if you put Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback for every team that was losing at the start of the fourth quarter, those teams would end up winning like 80% of the time.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's not fair. It's not fair Chiefs fans get to root for him for this long and like how good he is. That's all I got about it. It's
No,
not
I mean,
fair.
I'm upset. I'm very upset with him.
Anything else from this game while we talk about it? I mean, the Chargers did look good. Justin Herbert did look awesome, but it's like the most typical Chargers game of all time.
Yeah, Kelsey's
Where-
a beast. Kadarius Toney out in the second half with I think a hamstring injury. Basically, Kadarius Toney is out in the second half with being Kadarius Toney.
Correct. But this is the perfect Chargers game where you even had Mike Williams and Keenan Allen come back. Mike Williams then went out with an injury. They looked great coming out of the game. Like, oh, shit, the Chargers are going to beat the Chiefs. I feel like we've watched this Chargers game 100 times. Justin Herbert makes a few wow throws. You get tantalized by how good the Chargers could be.
Yes. You come out of the game,
And then-
even if they lose,
Yeah,
you're
and
like,
then-
the Chargers are good. I believe in this Chargers team. Brandon Staley, I'm surprised he didn't try to do this on that last drive.
Well, there are 3 timeouts. We should say the Chargers have 3 timeouts with 31 seconds
But
left.
on that last
They
drive,
have Dicker the kicker.
And they have
Yep.
Dicker the kicker.
on that last drive, I would think Brandon Staley would be the guy that would do like a time wasting thing and take it down to like the last 3 seconds of the game, and then give his guys a shot to just like run the ball into the end zone to win the game. So there's actually not any time on the clock,
Right.
for Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're basically playing against 2 people at that point, Patrick Mahomes and also the clock. And so Staley, he needs to figure out, because it does feel like this happens to the Chargers all the time.
All the time. All the time. And this will probably the sack. So there goes 1 timeout. I bet you they're going to get like 1 big throw and maybe even a fumble. Like a big throw where the guy's just running down the sideline. Looks like he's going to win the game and he just fumbles. It's like, oh, Chargers could have won that game. They're the most frustrating team ever.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
might be.
Well, because they always have the heavy burden of expectations on them.
And they also have a reasonably fun team. Like they have guys that are fun to watch. Like Austin Eckler's fun to watch. Bosa's fun to watch. Derwin James when he's playing, like fun to watch. Justin Herbert throwing lasers. And it just never materializes into wins.
Yeah, Keenan Allen, I think, is the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL.
And whenever anyone says like, oh man, if the Chargers had gotten into the playoffs, watch out for them. No, not watch out for them. They would have gotten in the playoffs and lost by 3 in a game they were winning. That's how every Chargers game goes.
Herbert? Oh, that should have
And that's an interception.
and that's
game over.
Okay.
No, the Chiefs win. Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. I'm confident in saying that.
I still like
Anyone want to say anything to the contrary?
I still like the Bills.
The Bills are just as they're like one little notch in terms of how they're playing right this second. Because obviously the Bills went to Kansas City and beat them, but
Fact.
I just feel like the Chiefs have had, I don't know, they're just so fucking good. Mahomes is so goddamn good. He's so consistently good.
I need the Bills to host the AFC Championship game. That's what I need.
I think that's where I land. When peak Josh Allen doing his Josh Allen stuff can beat Patrick Mahomes
In Buffalo with that crowd.
But when
Yep.
if it's a little less than peak, Patrick Mahomes is so consistently great that it's like Chiefs no matter what.
Yep.
Okay. Anything from that game, Hank? You're not happy. I was shocked when you told me that you didn't take the dog.
It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Well, the
would've.
dog covered.
I would have. Yeah, but I don't.
5.5.
I don't
Oh, you do
that.
money line. Yeah. Spreads don't matter.
No.
Yeah. Just take
Nor does weather.
Yeah, nor does weather. Okay, so anything else? Bills, Browns. No, the Bills are back. The Browns suck. They're just waiting for Deshaun Watson. It's going to be really awkward when he comes to. So we got what? One more week?
Yeah, it's
One
gonna
more
be,
week and he's back.
It's going to be very awkward for everybody. It's going to be are we just going to pretend like everything's cool?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
I'm down.
that's- yeah.
As long as we're all on the same page about
I think
it.
that's what we've all just. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like, okay,
I don't really know what.
this pervert.
Yeah, we're going to make fun of him.
Yeah.
And we're going to remind people he's a pervert. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to stop watching the NFL. So this is kind of a moral crisis we're dealing with here. If we really want to dig deep down,
you could
I don't
put
think anything will get us to stop watching the NFL.
No, you could put if Putin was a quarterback, I would tune
He
in
would
on
put
Sunday.
up numbies.
He would, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be afraid to
Air
tackle
raid.
him.
Air raid Putin.
I mean, have you seen him?
Yeah.
Have you seen him on the rink?
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of why Roger Goodell gets to do whatever he wants because he knows idiots like us are like, we could talk a game.
Dude,
we're gonna watch the game.
they could have Deshaun Watson play a game in like Sweden at 7:00 in the morning, and I'm tuning. I'm DVRing it.
Oh shit!
I'm watching the all 22
First
after
game in
it's up
Sweden.
there. Yeah, first game in Sweden.
I wonder what the Sweden national anthem is gonna look like.
It'd be amazing. The pageantry would be incredible.
KFC, we were talking about before the show. Your fandom's going to be tested this week because you have the 3 a.m. Thursday game
That's true.
in Qatar.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
The whole like Middle East time. That's something I'm not even prepared to
Patriots
wrap my brain
Vikings,
around.
I believe, is
You should
3:30
just stay
a.m.
on our
for his
time.
time.
I might actually. That's kind of what I did when I was in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a mental battle for me for sure. I think my plan is I just get up in the middle of the night, I go to take a piss, and I check the score, and then I fall back asleep. That's
Yeah.
the plan right there.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually sounds like a perfect plan.
Yeah.
Commanders, Texans. Commanders 23, Texans 10. PFT. Taylor Heineke is good, and the Commanders,
Are good.
I think they're going to make the playoffs.
They could. It's tough to say because we're playing as the Texans.
Yeah, but
And
I think they're going to make the playoffs.
the
I'll
Te-
give you the. I want to hear what you have to say about the game, but I'll give you the path.
Yeah, so I know that we have a path for sure because
Yeah.
we have to beat the Giants.
If you beat the Giants, the last.
We have to beat the Falcons. We have to beat the Giants.
If the Giants if either the Giants sweep the Commanders, or the Commanders sweep the Giants, that the winner of those two games is going to go.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, so I did not realize this, but this is the first time under Ron Rivera that the Commanders have had a winning record, like after week 2.
Whoa.
So that's kind of crazy. Even when we made the playoffs, we were like 6-9. Then, I think we were like 5 and maybe even 5-9, 6-9, then 7-9. You remember that game against the Eagles to end the season?
Yes.
Where they put in Nate Sudfeld. So we've never had a winning record under him before. So
That's
this is kind of
crazy.
foreign territory. Taylor Heineke continues to. I think now he actually might have the best record of any starting quarterback on the Commanders in their history under Dan Snyder, besides Alex Smith. I think he's now surpassed Kirk Cousins. So he looks good. He does everything right. I think that he's what this team needs. Because obviously whatever it was that Carson Wentz was bringing to the table from like an emotional standpoint wasn't really working. But the way that Heineke plays, I think he's the rare guy that people do play better around him.
Yeah.
Like if Zach Wilson had like a tenth of the dog that Taylor Heineke had in him, then the Jets would be in a much, much better place right now. And we get Chase Young back next week.
Yes.
Which I'm excited about, but I'm also a little apprehensive about because their defensive line is kicking ass right now. And we're doing it without Chase Young.
Just bring him in for third down.
And also Chase Young, he just looks awesome on the sidelines as the cheerleader.
Yeah.
He's really he finds his way into like every group on the sidelines, always hyping everybody up. He's always got a cool hat on. He seems like a good teammate to have like full-time cheerleader on the sidelines, but he's also a pretty good football player. So I'm pumped to get him back out there. But I do think it's like 60-40 that we make the playoffs now.
I
in
do
my
too.
own brain.
6-5. I did the little calculus in my head. If you even split the Giants, win against the Falcons, win against the Giants, loss against the Giants, loss against the 49ers, win against the Browns, loss against the Cowboys, you'd be 9-8. I think 9-8 is going to probably get that 7th spot. Unless the Seahawks and the 49ers
That's the only thing.
get to 9 and 10 wins, I think 9 and 8 would get you. And then if you beat the Giants, if you could beat the Giants who are fading, and we'll talk about them next, you would almost assuredly get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you go 2-0 against the Giants.
It's kind of a weird position to be in. I don't know how to handle myself. And
It's crazy.
The team starting to like come together and play exciting football right as Dan Snyder is stepping away from I don't think that's a coincidence at all. I think that it kind of like lifted a little bit of a weight like it did for me as a fan, I'll tell you straight up, but also like for the team. I actually think that it does make a difference. I think it's like, okay, we don't have to deal with this massive distraction all the time in the future. Let's just worry about playing football.
I just dawned on me that there is, I wouldn't say a good chance, but there's a chance that in this room I'm the only one who doesn't make the playoffs. I just realized that.
Oh, man.
That would suck.
Man.
I would like someone to join me
That would be
in not making the playoffs.
that would be awful.
The Jets? You're pointing to the Jets. All right. So as long as someone, so that I'm not the guy, is like everyone else got their fucking big playoff game and I'm just sitting there like, well, this fucking sucks.
I'm starting to run into an existential crisis with the running back position because I do love Brian Robinson
Bowling ball.
and the story that he's had this year. But also Antonio Gibson just seems like a much more dynamic running back at times.
Yeah.
Like Brian Robinson is great when he's just running into people's faces. That's pretty cool. But Antonio Gibson, he can get 12
12, 13 yards at a clip. But on the other hand, it's like I don't want to root against the guy that got shot.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I'm juggling that in my mind.
Here's how you got to do it in your mind. Brian Robinson softens up the defense.
Yeah.
Because he just mashes them.
Yeah.
And then Antonio Gibson gets the easier yards.
It's the old Thunder and Lightning.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Or Eat and Run. That was the Lindale White and Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
Best defensive or best running backfield nickname of all time.
Brian Robinson is basically loosening up the jar for Antonio Gibson to open it up and be like, look, that was easy.
Smash and dash.
Yeah, right. It's pretty good.
It works, yeah. Okay,
So-
no, that's good. I feel better about that now. There's a place for both these guys.
Yeah, there is. And the Texans just suck. Davis Mills, oh my God.
Jets would not be in the playoffs as of right now.
If the
Ooh.
season ended now.
Okay.
Cincinnati would be 7. New England
Well,
6.
the Commanders wouldn't be in right now either.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, there's a world where enough things can happen where, like, all your teams are very much alive. And, you know, obviously Max and Jake are more than alive. So,
Yeah, Max,
that would suck.
Max is definitely going to make the playoffs. Jake, you're definitely going to make it.
Oh, man.
You two, I'm not so sure about you two.
Yeah.
Hank and Billy.
You two
You're-
rapscallions.
I don't know what's going to happen with y'all, but your teams, they could go either way.
Coin says we make
Coin,
it.
that's right. I
AFC
forgot about the coin.
Championship.
So all this talk about the playoffs is making me terrified as a Commanders fan. So let's just say I'm optimistic right now. Left hand is firmly raised, and I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here right now. Having a winning record, and Taylor Heineke, and people are asking questions about, like, Taylor, is he the guy for the rest of the season? Rivera said, yes, he's the guy. It makes complete sense.
And it makes also, like, a world of difference, like, knowing that you don't have to, like, that credit to Ron Rivera, you don't have to play this stupid game
Yeah.
of, like, oh, Carson Wentz, he is technically, like, you know, the first-round draft pick and gets paid a lot of money. We got to play him. No. Taylor Heineke's team.
Yeah, they had to have a word with Heineke because he got caught drinking beer on the airplane on the way back last week. And so I think they fined him. I think guys should be allowed to drink beer on the airplane.
Titans offensive coordinator.
Okay, I think you should be allowed to drink beer on the airplane as long as you promise not to drive afterwards.
after. Okay, yeah.
Like, okay, we're all adults here, right?
yeah.
You're gonna make me fly sober after I just played an NFL game and won?
Yeah, the Titans
that to
offensive
me-
coordinator got a DUI for people who don't know after the win against the Packers.
Yeah, but I think that's cruel and unusual punishment. If you just won a Monday Night Football game, you should be allowed to have a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah.
We're all adults, right? This is America. I thought this was America.
Yeah. It's true. This is America. This has nothing to do with anything but the Can't Lose Parlay cash for the 4th straight week, Hank.
Congratulations.
Has the Hungry Dog?
No, 1-0-3.
I was choosing which
shit.
one. I was gonna take one today. I chose the Hungry Dog,
Oh,
and I was like in that split second. I was like, shush.
damn.
Maybe stop being a bitch and take both.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I,
what I do.
I responsibly take one parlay. a
Okay.
week.
Nice. Yeah. Texans. Last thing I wanted to say about the
Your
Commanders.
karma's gonna come for you.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
You win a couple can't lose parlays, and then all of a
I've
sudden
won 4 in a row. I can't.
if you hadn't won can't lose parlays, you gotta be bringing this up.
I would love to go to last year when Hank was like, "I'm the best gambler in the world."
I didn't say
Hungry
that.
Dog cashed again. You were. Oh
So you
yeah,
were
you
jealous.
were.
You
no,
were
no,
just jealous.
no. I watched you. You listen. If I can't,
I didn't say Big Cat has the can't lose parlay one. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
you
it
did.
wouldn't have.
Oh yeah, you
But
always did.
I didn't rub it in your face. I didn't say Big Cat was the last time the can't lose parlay one. It's
You
just
said
funny
it.
how
You
you
said
win
it.
like 2 in a row, and all of a
Four.
sudden,
Up on the year.
the chirp birds start counting.
Up on the year.
Yeah, I just need to win one Hungry Dog parlay, and I'll be
Not
up
at
in the year.
yeah,
That's how it works.
We're 11 weeks in, buddy.
Yeah,
We're 11 weeks
plus
in.
1,500 coming next week.
Hank, can you imagine if you had taken the Broncos-Raiders game to end in a tie at regulation?
Would have lost.
Because he went over 3 on the other ones.
Oh, because your other ones didn't hit.
Well, no, but that also.
Oh, really?
Well, in
Yeah, being
regulation.
tied at the end of regulation?
It did. I mean,
That was a winner.
that was a winner. And
Is there any way that you could be more
Hank,
like us?
I bet the Hungry Dog every week.
And we're due.
Okay.
Plus 1,500.
Keep saying that.
I think you've changed, Hank.
Yeah.
I think your methodology's changed.
No, I mean, next week we'll be in Hoboken, so I feel much better about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That will change everything. What did I say? The Commanders. This was actually like a classic letdown spot.
Yeah.
Where the Texans are dog shit, but the Commanders just beat the last undefeated team in the NFL on Monday Night Football. Huge win. Then they have to go back on the road to Houston. Short rest. you get credit in my mind for not falling for those flat spots.
There's certain things that you have to check off to be able to consider yourself a good team. One would be like a statement win,
Yeah.
which is what we had last week. And then the next one is blowing out a team that you're supposed to blow out.
Right.
And we just blew the Texans.
Right.
We just went down
Blew
there
'em.
and we went down and we blew them.
Yep.
And so that's what we had to do, check that one off the list. I think the next one is win a scrappy divisional game. So that would be the Giants game.
Yep.
And again, now I don't know what I can talk myself into for the Falcons game this week, but that's the next one on the list that I feel like to take that step to becoming an actual good team, you have to do those sorts of
Yes,
things.
I like that. That's actually a good follow these rules here, and you can
It's a model,
be
yeah.
considered good. Okay, next up, Lions Giants. Lions 31, Giants 18. I'd like to apologize to Dan Campbell. I wasn't calling for his job, but I was saying his job might be in jeopardy. I don't think that's the case anymore. 3 in a row, first time since 2017. He follows up his first road victory as a head coach by winning his next road game the next week. And the Lions, they're back to like the scrappy Lions. They've won 3 in a row. They have a huge game against the Bills. Like, just think about this for a second. If the Lions somehow beat the Bills on Thanksgiving Day, that's going to be, holy shit, what's up with this Lions team? Like, this Lions team might be, they could somehow get into the playoffs because the NFC, the bottom of the NFC is that bad.
What's
They have
the
a favorable schedule too after
Yeah.
the Bills.
What's the Lions' recent record on Thanksgiving? How used to Lions fans like are they used to winning on Thanksgiving?
I want to say they beat the Bears a couple years ago. I feel like the Bears played them so many times the last 5 years. Can you look it up?
I would just like to know what it's like being a Lions fan and what your
I wanna say
Thanksgiving,
Chase Daniel beat them though.
what that entire like setup is like for you guys. Your traditions on Thanksgiving. Do you eat before you watch the game? Do you get up early and get drunk before, and then eat afterwards? Do you have a big breakfast, a Thanksgiving breakfast? How do you the whole Thanksgiving situation in Detroit? It's always.
I think they just
fascinating.
watch it with the game. I think they eat Thanksgiving dinner with the game on.
as they're watching.
Yeah.
it? Okay.
And they take a nap in the second half.
It was their first 3-game winning streak since 2017.
Yep.
That the Lions are on right now. They're definitely back to being frisky. And it was a double win today because the Rams continue to lose, so their draft pick keeps increasing.
Yeah.
So the draft pick that they got in exchange for it was the Stafford Jared Goff trade.
Yep.
So as Stafford continues to not play, it turns out it actually helps the Lions continue to improve their position for the future. Jamal Williams has been a beast recently. 3
Yep.
touchdowns today, 64 yards. It was the lowest yardage for any 3-touchdown player this season.
That's kind of cool.
It's a cool stat. It actually reminded me of that Jerome Bettis game, and I looked it up, and I forgot how crazy his stat line was.
It was like 4 yards.
Jerome Bettis had 5 attempts for 3 touchdowns and 1 yard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In 2004.
That's incredible.
which is,
the
the-
bus.
I think, the best stat line of any player.
I loved playing Madden with the bus.
Yeah, you
and just running over people.
Yep.
What do you got, Jake? I know we lost once to them.
2016 was our last one. That was a 4-game winning streak, 13 to 16.
Who'd they beat? The Bears?
The Vikings.
Oh, did they not beat
They beat the Bears in 14.
14? That's right. And then we beat them, what, 18? No,
Yes, 19.
19.
19.
Okay. There
Because
we go.
I just wonder if, like, the city of Detroit has sadness from a Lions loss baked into their Thanksgiving. It's like there are kids that probably grow up in Detroit that hate Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I have to watch the Lions lose.
Yeah.
Every year. on
Although
this
I
day.
think that's just same old Lions. Like it
Just Sundays
It's,
in
yeah, it
general?
just becomes. It's almost actually probably better because then you have Sunday off.
No, but it kind of ruins Thanksgiving for everybody.
No, but I'm saying the Lions have been so, and I don't want to make this about because it is big that they won and they look like they're actually building something. But the Lions are so bad and have been so bad that I don't think losses can affect Lions fans the same way they affect other fan bases anymore. Like it's almost like you're just arresting. This is what it is.
I just think that it would be like adding a tradition to Thanksgiving where somebody would just come over to your house and kick you in the balls.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, but that you get kicked in the balls every Sunday anyway.
Yeah,
So
that's true. It's just another day.
like the last time they won a playoff game was what 1991.
Yeah, it's just
So
another,
I think it's
just another day at the getting kicked in the balls factory.
yeah. I think they're almost like I don't want to speak for all Lions fans, but I bet there's like a general like, well, we just kind of expect that this is gonna. We want them to be good.
Yeah.
But we also you can't get your hopes up every single year. After a certain amount of years, it's just like this is what it is. And now they're in a place where again they could get their hopes up because they've won 3 in a row and they're playing the Bills. And if they win this game, who the fuck knows? The Lions would be like, holy shit. Like, what are they putting together here? So I was impressed by them because it wasn't really even close. Like, their defense got Daniel Jones to turn the ball over, which that's more on Daniel Jones. But Aiden Hutchinson looks awesome. Like, that was – you want to see those type of games. You got back-to-back weeks with interceptions where it's like, oh, yeah, we made the right choice.
Mm-hmm. He's got as many interceptions as Sauce Gardner.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Wow, that is fascinating. Defensive player of the Rookie of the Year?
Aiden Hutchinson is, you have a lot of things that you can be happy about if you're a Lions fan. The defense is probably the big one because
it's turned around since the bye week.
It's turned completely around, and they were awesome against the run today.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Saquon, and we're like, oh, Saquon's got, at the time, it was like 7 attempts for 9 yards. And the strategy with Saquon is you just keep feeding him if you're the Giants, and eventually he's going to break one. And that never happened today.
Right.
They kept him bottled up today. They did a great job against Daniel Jones. So, yeah, the offense is going to be your offense is fine. The Lions have a good offense. But if the defense can even start to play like consistently mediocre, or maybe even a little bit better than mediocre, the Lions could be – they are a fun team, but they could be actually good.
And they actually I think their bye week was after the Patriots game where they lost 29-0, and then they played the Cowboys, which, remember watching that game, it was a 1-score game in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They played the Dolphins to a 4-point game, which everyone gives up points to the Dolphins. Shut down the Packers. The Bears was a shootout, but win that game, and then they shut down the Giants. So yeah, it feels like they've turned a corner a little bit. And Daniel Jones, for the Giants side of it, this does feel like the air coming out of the balloon a little bit for the Giants, because even last week when they beat the Texans, watching that game, it was like the Texans are losing this game. The Giants aren't winning this game, like in the fact that the Texans just kept on getting close and then throwing picks or not converting for scores. And now the reverse of what the Lions have. The Lions have basically a Thanksgiving Day game that could change like everything for the positive. The Giants have a Thanksgiving Day that could change everything for the negative because they have to go to Dallas, and if they get killed in that game, now you're starting to like have some good long looks in the mirror of a tough schedule down the stretch where you start 7-2, and it's like you're basically clinging on, hoping you get to 9 wins and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, the 2 games against the Commanders have become like those were wins earlier in the season that you had penciled in. Now those are like question marks.
They might have flipped the other way.
And then then you don't know what to believe anymore.
And it sucks for Giants fans that you had, like, if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be cruel, because if you had said to the Giants fans before the season, like, let's say they finished 9-8 and missed the playoffs. If you said you finished 9-8 and missed the playoffs, you'd be like, that's awesome. We're in. Like, that's great. Year one Dable, this team is not very good, because it's not a very good team. But the fact they started 7-2, if they now miss the playoffs, now it's a cruel twist of how the schedule worked and how they started the season.
It was awesome though when they applauded for Kenny Golladay, who made a catch today.
That was very funny,
and the crowd just went ape shit for him. They couldn't believe it. It was great. It was a touching tribute to him.
Yeah.
If you're the Giants, you at least have some things that you can point at. If they end up going off the rails a little bit, maybe they squeak into the playoffs, get blown out. Maybe they don't make the playoffs. You're still in a good spot as a Lions fan because you have, I think, fixable issues.
Yeah.
I think you have to get some weapons on offense. You have to have people that can catch the ball and then run with the football down the field.
Yeah.
Those guys you can find.
And
they're out there.
A couple defensive, I mean, like the Aiden Hutchinson, if he is the player that he looked like today and has looked like in the last couple weeks, like if you have one of the impact edge rushers in the NFL, everything becomes easier. Everything becomes easier.
Yeah.
Like everything works a lot easier when you have that one guy who, like a TJ Watt. We talk about the Steelers and what TJ Watt means to that Steelers defense. Aiden Hutchinson obviously isn't TJ Watt yet, but like that's the one position on defense that if he really is exceptional, it can make everything else easier for you.
He had a 6 spin move too as he was returning that interception.
Yeah.
I love it when defensive guys that never touch the ball try to like hit the Madden buttons on themselves.
Yes.
That was the best. But yeah, I do think that the Giants' problems are fixable even if you end up stinking down the stretch this year. And you know that you've got a good coach and that you have a general manager that's not Gettleman. And so like the future is very bright if you're a Giants fan.
Yes. What were you going to say, Jake?
I don't know if they would actually do it, the league, because the Cowboys are such a big draw. But in 2 weeks, it's Colts Cowboys Sunday night. Giants Commanders. Flex.
Ooh, they do love doing that with the NFC East.
But the Cowboys are a huge draw. but it's the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
I-
love Dallas.
Also,
think
Dolphins, not Niners, could be a change.
I think
too.
that comes down to if the Colts win. What is it? 2 weeks from now?
Yeah,
If
2
the
weeks
Colts
from
win
today.
next week, I think they'll keep it Colts Cowboys and be like, Colts are fighting for their playoff hopes.
yes.
The fact that
and
it's even,
the
like, a
Saturday
possibility.
discussion. The fact we're having the conversation.
Exactly.
Although,
Giants-Commanders.
if you're asking me honestly, I want to. You said 49ers Dolphins.
that's a 4:00 game. I could say
I want
Mike
that game.
McDaniel versus
I want that
Kyle
game.
Shanahan.
they
Yeah.
could flex that. But
Yeah,
that's
that game
something
makes
to
my
monitor.
pants
So
tight.
if it happens, we called it.
Jake, as an aside, how excited do you get during flex season? Trying to predict
It's cool.
it. You should.
Yeah.
You should maybe like do that. Should be
Predictions?
those should be your picks.
Okay.
Yeah, like you should. Well, I mean, separate, but like I need
Yeah,
I
I'll
need
start
flex
publishing
picks.
them.
And also, let's keep
I
track
think
of.
it's a 14-day notice, right?
Yeah.
Let's
It's a
keep
2-week
track
notice,
of whether or not they
Sure.
they did a good job with it. So this flex tonight, Chargers
They did a
Chiefs,
great job.
great job.
Great job. Great job.
In my
Well,
fantasy flex league, that score is very high.
I just want maybe on
Well, Steelers Bengals, we'll get to it. That was the original game. That was a good game too.
yeah, maybe every Friday you can give us a flex update. Like, hey
Okay.
guys, heads up, 2 weeks from now, we're looking at this.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or learn all the rules though, because there's weird rules like CBS and Fox get first dibs
Yeah.
to some games.
I
can
think
protect 'em.
You can each team like maxes out at like 5.
If there's
primetime
any
games this season.
AWL
We
who's
should just
listening,
add it to Fantasy Fuckboys and have
Yeah.
a flex position.
yeah, just call
yeah.
it, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect,
yeah.
Tank.
Weird
Love
flex, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if there's any AWLs who work with work in NBC or any other, and we can get inside info on just how it works. We're not asking for you to tip us off,
Yeah.
but just how it works in terms of the rules and
All right,
stuff.
well, I'm rooting for a flex now.
We'll take
Okay.
the
Week
tips, too.
13.
Yeah, we'll
I love
take
it.
tips.
I love that the flex has become like the new scoregami.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's like
I want
in
it.
advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this
Well,
team
'cause
has keep track of like which teams have never been flexed before.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Jake's eyes lit up when
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, look at this! 2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
watch out!" Like
Yeah.
I like
Ooh.
that. I like seeing that in you.
Flex in the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Real flex.
No flex. Zone.
No flex zone. Okay, next up, Falcons 27, Bears 24. This is just Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, so
It's just Groundhog's
I
Day
got
for
a
me.
question for you.
Yeah.
Are you at all worried that just the act of losing is going to get very familiar to Justin
Yes,
Fields?
yes, that's what I said last week in terms of I would like for them to sprinkle in a win from time to time, and this game had every Bears game that's happened this year since Justin Fields has started to ascend. He looked great. He was playing great. He made some great throws. He made some great runs. He also had a couple throws that weren't great. He threw a ball directly off of I think it was his right guard's helmet.
Yeah.
That was tough, but that's okay. That's we can take that when he makes the electric plays. And then we got to a point, the Bears defense had some issues. The special teams had some issues, which we'll talk about. Cordell Patterson get to the last drive. Can we get down the field and maybe win this game? I do not know. I actually think that Luke Getsy, the guy who's calling the plays, I think he's actively been given orders to lose games because they started the drive. Justin Fields' hamstring was a little hurt. He starts it design quarterback run. He bangs up his shoulder. What does he do with a guy who's got a gimpy hamstring and gimpy shoulder? He does another design quarterback run. And then on third down, the check down that it wasn't a good thrown ball. Montgomery probably should have caught it, but it wasn't it was a bad pass by Fields. And then rinse, repeat. The Bears lose by 3. Justin Fields looks great. And yeah, I would like to sprinkle in a win from time to time.
Just to have him smile.
No, I've said this. If the Bears finish this season 3-14, it's a problem.
Yeah.
They need to win probably 2 more games mixed in with what Justin Fields is doing. And I hope if he's hurt even a little bit, they should be the most cautious with him. Like do not play him against the Jets if he is even a little bit injured.
Yeah, you
know what I
gotta-
mean?
which-
This is not at this point we are if we don't get a top 5 draft pick, that's a problem in itself.
So what you got to do right now is because he does have the talent to be like a generationally great quarterback if he's in the right system. You got to get him addicted to winning and turn him into a psycho.
Yeah.
You got to give him
Well,
like
I think he is
you got to
very
give him
competitive
a
in that,
taste for winning and just have him become a completely insane person that's totally motivated just by winning.
Yeah.
You got to get him into that zone, and that's not going to happen if he just has to get bitter every single week and get sad after games. And to his credit, he talked to the media and everything afterwards. But
No, he's a gamer. He doesn't want to. Yeah.
even though he was injured and stuff during the game, he could just skipped out on it and
Yeah.
gone home.
Or
But-
it could have been is there a problem? No.
Yeah.
Or like it was windy in the dome.
You just got to get him into that.
It's windy as hell.
You got to turn him into a psycho. That's the thing. And
he is. I think he actually is pretty a competitive psycho in that he, like we've talked about it. He doesn't really smile. I think he very, very desperately wants to win. And he made some electric plays and they fell short. And it sucks. I would like for them to win, and I want them to be healthy. And it's Groundhog's Day. Every single game the Bears have played since beating the Patriots on Monday Night Football has been the exact same. Like, play really good. Justin Fields plays great. Defense, special teams, someone makes a mistake. And
the overhits. And they have a chance at the end, and it falls apart. Yep.
Like, it's just I'm not sick of watching it because he makes play like that. I think it was this is where the guys who look at the box score, I'll just never, like, either you watched it or you didn't. When he made that 10-yard scramble, I think it was the second quarter, when it, like, a guy was tackling him and he shook him. It was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then he made that other scramble in the fourth to keep the play alive for, 15 seconds it felt like, and then hit someone. Like, those plays are exceptional. He's calm. He still needs to be better as a pocket passer because that's what happened with the interception at the end. I know that those are like the things he needs to work on, but
actually, I
all
think
of it's awesome.
That interception at the end, I don't think he was passing the ball to the running back.
Yeah.
I think he was throwing it to the receiver that was running the crossing route.
He might have been.
And the running back jumped up and tipped it to the receiver.
Either way,
to the quarterback.
He does need to get better as a pocket passer,
Yeah.
but everything else has gotten so much better that that will come. I'm very confident that will come. As for the Falcons, good win for them. There has been some Desmond Ridder rumblings.
Mm-hmm.
So the report came out before the game that they're sticking with Mariota and as long as they're playoff like eligible, they're still alive in the hunt. And Mariota played okay today. I don't know. Kyle Pitts got hurt, which that sucked. Eddie Jackson hit him low, which I don't blame. Like, the defenders have you can't go high.
He's big.
Well, and you can't go high, so you, like, I don't know. It's like one of those tough spots for a lot of defenders now because if you even go close to the head, you get flagged for that. But that sucked. And then Cordero Patterson is officially the best kickoff returner of all time.
Yeah, he's got the record. This is crazy to me. So he has 7 career touchdowns of 100-plus yards.
Yeah, nuts.
7 career touchdowns of 100-plus yards. No other player in NFL history has more than 3.
And I listen, Devin Hester is the best returner, all-around returner. He has, I think, 14 punt returns in his career.
I'm a Deion guy.
But Cordero Patterson is objectively the best kickoff returner at this point.
Yeah.
He has 9. He broke the record. He has 9 kickoff returns, and what did you say? 7 over 100.
7 over 100 yards, which is crazy to me. Like that's so many. Like, to me, that's what's up, Hank.
What's that? X?
Oh, Dante Hall.
Dante Hall. You were a Dante Hall guy.
The human joystick.
Yeah,
love Dante.
I mean,
Hall.
he had that, like, him and Josh Cribbs both had a moment where it was more than a moment, a few years where it was just like, oh man, these guys are awesome.
Dante Hall was.
I think it was just because I was a kid too, but he was the swaggiest dude.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
I think he was the most fun to watch when he had the ball because he would make like 7 guys miss on every return, and he would run backwards and like juke. He had more jukes. He was the best juker that I've ever seen.
Devin Hester had a ton of jukes too, but yeah, Cordero Patterson. The craziest part about him is he shouldn't be that fast. He's so big.
He's a big guy. Yeah,
he's so big, and when he doesn't even look like he's that fast. Like, he doesn't look. I'm trying to think. Like Tyreek Hill, obviously, when you see him run, you're like, oh fuck, this guy's so much faster than everyone.
Yeah,
it's one of those deceptive things where it's like he's just running faster than everyone. It doesn't look like he's this crazy twitchy muscle guy, but he's so much faster than everyone.
he takes those long strides.
Yeah.
And he gets going. And he wasn't even really that much of a he wasn't ever used as a running back when he was on the Vikings. Remember, he came on Part of My Take, and we asked him if he was going to be like Ty Montgomery and start to get some carries. He was like, yeah, I'd like my coach to do that. And then his chain started bouncing off the microphone, and we were like, damn, this guy's cool.
Yep,
and he's
very
extremely fast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's I think we put him as a first ballot Hall of Very Good, but now, I don't know, like, he might be a Hall of Famer.
Well, Devin Hester should be a Hall of Famer.
He absolutely should.
I think that, if Cordero Patterson plays for a couple more years,
he's in the Part of My Take Hall of Fame.
he probably needs to play a couple more years.
We should make our own Hall of Fame.
We should. He's definitely
He's the number 1 kick returning guest And well, no, because Devin Hester came on the show too.
Yeah.
They're both in there.
They're both in there.
Yeah, okay.
We have the best Hall of Fame for kick returners.
That's true.
We got to get Dante Hall on.
And we have Dion,
And
too.
we have Dion. Yeah, that's true.
So we do need Dante Hall on the show.
Yeah, and we need to get Josh Cribbs.
Yep.
We'll collect them all. Yeah, so Falcons, nothing else. I mean, this is good win for them. The Bears aren't good as a team. I don't delude myself.
I think they're not bad.
They're not bad. They're not good.
Yeah, no, like if the Bears are on TV, I want to watch that game.
Well, yeah, Justin Fields makes it must watch.
Yes.
But yeah, as a totality, like as a football team,
Yeah.
I don't think they're good.
Jumping back to what you said about Desmond Ridder and the Marcus Mariota situation, the way that I saw it made it almost seem like it was a defeatist proposition that the Falcons had, where they said, we're going to keep Mariota starting until we get eliminated from the playoff hunt. It wasn't so much optimistic, like we're trying to make the playoffs right now. It was just like, we're going to keep him in here for a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
And then when we're officially eliminated, we're going to make the switch to Ridder.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, hypothetically, maybe Falcons fans can educate me to what they believe or what they think. If you're a Falcons fan, do you truly want to go back to the Super Bowl again?
Probably not.
Like in your heart of hearts?
No.
Knowing that, like, if you lose again, it's going to be horrible.
I think if you said to Falcons fans, you go to the Super Bowl, there's a 95% chance you win, but there's a 5% chance you get 28-3 again, I think they'd be like, no thanks.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd have to be like 99-1.
Or could you, like, right now, if you were saying...
And then who wouldn't, like, one's never going to come up, right?
Yeah.
Hank?
Our Falcons fans, if you were to take this right now, would you go to the Super Bowl knowing that you'd have to play against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in
No.
the Super Bowl?
No, I would.
you
If
want
I
that?
were no chance.
Yeah,
No chance.
No way, right?
No, thank you.
Like, it's not worth it to go through that whole week.
No.
You have to do, like, media day and everything like
Be
that.
up in the game at some point.
Yeah,
No.
it actually sounds awful to me.
No, definitely not. Maybe a nice, like if I were a Falcons fan, like maybe a nice divisional win, a wild card weekend win.
Yeah, give me a win in week one.
And we'll go on the road
Like-
and play the 1 seed and lose.
Like the early Saturday game.
Yeah.
Let's win that.
Yeah.
And then week two, we'll kindly bow out and take our ball and go home.
yeah, then that was fun. That was a good season. Yeah, I like that. That's a good hypothetical, and I agree. Probably not.
I'm curious to know what Falcons fans think.
Yes. All right. Before we get to our next games, we got a few more. PFT, you got a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Our great friends over at HelloFresh want you to know.
Jake's going to take a pic.
Jake, see you, Jake.
See you, Jake. Hank,
I'll monitor him.
go ahead.
Flex scheduling for Jake's bladder.
Make sure he's doing all right.
Line change.
HelloFresh is here to remind you that the holidays are just around the corner, and HelloFresh makes this busy time of year easier than ever with chef-crafted recipes and pre-portioned ingredients delivered right to your door so you can spend less time meal planning and prepping. Save money on dinner with HelloFresh and put it toward your holiday shopping. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout. With over 35 weekly recipes, there's something to please everyone. You can also easily customize your recipes by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading to choice proteins, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. Busy days and late nights call for more flexibility. That's why HelloFresh has plans that work with your schedule. You can change your preferences, delivery day, and address in just a few clicks. I love HelloFresh. Their meals are actually super easy to prepare, and they're so tasty. They're delicious. The whole family's going to love them. Go to HelloFresh.com/PMT70. Use code PMT70 for 70% off plus free shipping. That is an incredible deal. 70% off with code PMT70 at HelloFresh.com/PMT70. We're getting into Christmas shape. We're doing Christmas abs. Hank is out of the room right now. I will tell you, Hank and I had a conversation the other day that he is absolutely planning on having Super Bowl abs.
Super Bowl abs.
If you want Super Bowl six-pack, you got to get with HelloFresh right now. Do it now. Best way is to sign up at HelloFresh.com/PMT70 and use code PMT70 to get 70% off plus free shipping. This discussion is also brought to you by Shady Rays. Don't break the bank this holiday season. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that gives you the features of $200 shades for a fraction of the price and a fraction of that price during their biggest Black Friday sale ever. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. And if you're looking to gift Shady Rays for the holidays, The lost and broken coverage transfers to anyone that you gift them to. They get great polarized shades and protection no matter what happens to them in the future. If you get the wrong style for yourself or someone else, no need to worry. Avoid the hassle and the forced thank yous with free 30-day exchanges and returns. They stay behind their product and told our team that if anyone has a problem, they throw a profit out the window. They do what it takes to get it right. They have free returns and exchanges. Either love the shades or Shady Rays will pay to ship them back. That's it. Great customer service, and they have amazing sunglasses, styles that everybody's going to enjoy. Perfect holiday gifts. Shady Rays are the best holiday gift that you've never thought of giving. Act now for their best Black Friday selection. Up to 60% off site-wide. Yep, you heard me right. Up to 60% off site-wide. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades.
Okay. I had one last thought about the Bears I forgot to mention. Is Justin Fields, can I count his greatness both on the field in his play, but also the fact that he does just enough to lose every game?
Yeah.
To get the team better? Is that part of his greatness?
Yeah.
Right? Can I spin it that way?
Well,
Where I'd be like, he's so great on the field, and then he's so great in knowing just when to stop being great so the team can be future great. Put that on a quote board.
I think you know that this is not a good place to get yourself into, because you don't want to make a major facet of your new quarterback that he's great at losing.
Right, but right now it's
good for the ultimate
being great
outcome.
at losing is great for getting the team better.
Yeah, no.
Overall.
So he has pretty much perfectly played enough. He's played well enough to be like, holy shit, I've got my guy. But also at the same time, he's not actively damaging the future of the draft pick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically next year. If they load up next year and he's still losing games by 3 points, then we can have the discussion like what's going on. But now he's just setting himself up to be even more future great.
I did see the take out there, and I kind of hope it gets started because it's a fun discussion to have. Should the Bears sit Justin Fields for the rest of the year?
I saw that one pussy.
I saw it bubble up.
He was like, you have to sit Justin Fields the rest of the season. No, you fucking don't, dude. He's a football player who wants to play football, and he's still growing.
I love the fact that we're having the conversation. Though.
Yeah, I saw that too.
In order to get better at football, sometimes you have to play football.
Yeah, and guess what? Justin Fields, as great and as excited I am about him, he still has a lot of things he has to work on. I'm very open about that.
Yeah,
I do think they're the difference is I don't think he's a finished product. I just think that what I've seen, he will be a finished incredible product.
Are the Bears wasting Justin Fields' prime right
I saw
now?
that and I was just like, holy shit, what a pussy. I do.
Yeah.
If he is even like a little bit hurt though, like if his hamstring, don't play him against the Jets.
Yeah, of course. Like if he has a soft tissue injury, give him an extra week even after he recovers.
Because that shit is not that's not worth it. But yeah, he has to play the rest of the season.
But yeah, if he's healthy, you're not shutting him down.
Yeah, every game is a learning experience.
Yeah,
like he's getting better every week. So why would you do that? Yeah, that's a crazy take. But it's basically the like.
I like that somebody's putting it out there just so that we can dunk on it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like guys like playing like 4 games in college and then opting out for the rest of the career.
I want somebody to ask Dan Dockich that question so he can just say my ass,
my ass,
my ass, my ass. He sits out.
My ass. All right, Saints 27, Rams 20. We did not have this game on TV because we are protesting Dennis Allen's choice to have Andy Dalton be the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Andy Dalton actually played well. But it did. Jameis Winston came out and said it hurt his soul to not be playing. The Rams are a complete dumpster fire. Matthew Stafford gets hurt. I think he had another concussion.
So it's weird because he got into the concussion protocol during the week this week.
Right.
But there's no clear evidence of when he took.
Oh wait, no, that was last week.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
And so there's some weird stuff going on. They're not exactly sure what's going on. I don't think he was ever diagnosed with a concussion, but he was like somewhat in the concussion protocol, and then they took him out to evaluate him for another concussion this week. It's just very weird.
It's weird.
Very strange. I don't know what's going on there. Sean McVay has lost 4 games in a row for the first time in his career. Seems like he'd be much happier just being on television once a week talking about football.
Well, no, PFT, because we just talked about it with Justin Fields. The Rams will get a better draft pick.
That's true.
Oh, wait.
Wait a second.
They don't have any.
That goes to the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
So the more they lose, the more that the Detroit Lions continue to stock. What if the Detroit Lions just like absorbed all the fuck them picks energy from the Rams?
That would be great.
And loaded up on picks And what if the Lions just become a dynasty?
What if the Lions become a dynasty and we look back at the Stafford trade and we're like, that was like the Rocket Ishmael trade where it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The Rams won 1, the Lions won 4.
Yeah. What did you get, Matt Stafford? What did it cost you? Everything.
Everything. The Rams are so sad now. Instead of like recapping and trying to figure out, I mean, Bryce Perkins came into the game, who's been on the Rams roster since 2020. He played at Virginia and then he played somewhere else too before that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I do like that we're like warming up for the Bryce Young era because I think he's the second Bryce ever to play quarterback in the NFL. So we're getting like more accustomed.
We're getting to Bryce's.
Yeah, to Bryce. We
territory.
had Bryce Petty for a while for the Jets, and now we have Bryce Perkins. But the Rams, they're so depressing that my entire recap of the game was to just immediately go to their schedule and be like, do I have to watch them in prime time for the rest of the season? And the answer, unfortunately, is yes, twice in back-to-back weeks.
Can we flex that out?
We can't flex those out. Actually, I think they have a very late bye, so one of them, it might be... No, it is back-to-back weeks. They play the Raiders on Thursday Night Football. That's going to suck. And then they play the Packers on Monday Night Football the next week. Imagine ESPN being like, yes, we got Rams-Packers in the middle of December. What a fucking coup for us.
By the way,
holy
in
shit,
2 weeks is also Eagles-Titans, so that's another one that could be flexed.
Oh, for Sunday Night Football?
Yeah, so it's my flex of the year.
Okay, that's your flex.
Okay.
Are you calling right now?
I don't know who.
Fody?
It's going to get out.
Eagles-Titans is going to get out?
That's a good game.
Colts-Cowboys.
Oh, Colts-Cowboys.
No, I'm saying Eagles-Titans, Dolphins-Niners.
Oh, so
Or
you're saying the
Commanders,
Colts-Cowboys is your flex of the year, that's out?
Yes.
Wow. He's calling his shot, folks. We gave him a little bit of power, and he's
Fody.
gone way too far with it. Okay. If you don't get this, then you lose all credibility. It's almost like when you didn't put Wisconsin in the tournament.
Okay, and I'm still here.
Yeah, well, barely.
Yeah.
I'm joking, Jake.
I know, it's okay.
I do like this flex of the year. Now I'm invested.
We better wake up and hope it happens.
When is it? When's
It's
the
in 2
deadline?
weeks, so let me check.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I
what
gotta
if the
find out when the
deadline
deadline
passed? What if the deadline already
Then
passed?
it's null.
No, are you
No,
saying you
void.
No.
No, you went 0 for 1.
You went flex of the year. You just went flex of the year on us.
That was
You can't take back.
fastest loss
You can't be
ever.
like Bill Cowher taking back your flex of the year.
You're right.
But yeah, we have to watch the Rams 2 more times versus the Raiders Thursday Night Football at the Packers.
I saw a report that Cooper Kupp was out for 6 to 8 weeks. Just say he's out for the year.
Yeah.
At this point.
Well, Cooper Kupp's one of those psychos that definitely will be like, week 18, let me play.
I'll train hard. I'll trade all in for week 18.
Dude loves football. As for the Saints, I'm so sick of their shit. I just don't like. I feel like they're just going to keep doing this, where they lose a game, everyone's like, "Holy shit! Stop playing Andy Dalton." Then they win a game, like, "Oh, Andy Dalton." I mean, they have. The only thing I can say nice about the Saints is Juwan Johnson looks very good as a undrafted tight end, and then Chris Olave is the real deal, which is nice because that's a high draft pick.
It is. Chris Olave had the one long touchdown today. And then also Taysom Hill got in the action a little bit.
Good.
So he got in there. He got 10 carries, I think, for 50 yards. That's fun. Keep doing stuff like that. Make your team tolerable to watch. That's all we want because the NFL is a better league when we're able to have their games on our television in the gambling cave.
Yes.
And the Saints uniforms today were incredible.
Yeah, they were.
I love those
so
today.
good.
That's the only reason why I'm a little bit upset that we didn't watch the Saints today is because I could have just looked at those uniforms for 3.5 hours.
Those were great uniforms. I'm looking at the Saints this year. They've gone. They won their first game. They lost 3 in a row. They won. They lost 2 in a row. They won. They lost 2 in a row. They won. So bet on the 49ers and Buccaneers the next 2 weeks.
Yep, and then they'll beat the Falcons.
Yeah, they'll follow this up with 2 straight losses.
And then I could see them losing to the Browns and the Eagles and then beating the Panthers.
Yeah, so this is going to be their whole season.
I like that.
Yeah. But
you're consistently inconsistent.
I'll say it again, Dennis Allen, if you don't have Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill taking snaps against the Bucs on Monday Night Football December 5th, I'm going to jump in front of a bus.
That hurts my soul.
Yeah.
12 days is the flex deadline, so Monday or Tuesday.
Wow.
So
Flex
like
of the year
tomorrow.
watch.
Today or tomorrow.
We are on Flex of the Year watch.
Jake, I need you to explicitly say what your flex of the year is.
Well, I don't know which game's going to
No,
get
he's
flexed
saying
in.
that Colts Cowboys
Is
will
getting
be
out.
flexed
There's a
out.
lot of
flexing it
other
out.
options.
That is the ballsiest thing you can do to flex out a Cowboys
Yeah,
game.
you're coming out of the gate hard.
Oh,
But
my
like
God.
your first one, like you put your nuts on the table.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
It's like
No, it's a thrill.
like if it's a Jaguars Titans, like come on.
Yeah, you're right. You're going big game hunting.
Yeah.
Like they won't flex out the Cowboys. No. Our boy, Flex of the Year. He called the Flex Master.
All right, so give me your power rankings in terms of which one you think is most likely
This is so
to
exciting.
get flexed in.
I love the Flex Master.
You got
Jake.
you got your eyes on 3
I'd
games,
say
right?
Giants Commanders is third.
okay.
Okay.
So it's between Dolphins Niners and Eagles Titans.
Eagles are playing Sunday Night Football next week. Will they
Chargers
do it?
did
That's
it.
true. Will they do it though?
I don't think they'll do it again. Also, Titans doesn't really move the needle.
Yeah.
I'll go with Dolphins Niners.
That feels
Eagles,
right.
Titans,
That feels
Giants
right.
Commanders.
But they're also like allergic to having the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football, right? Because
Yeah.
that was the first time, and
since like 2010.
Oh
Uh-huh.
wow!
you've really
Okay.
painted yourself
We'll
into a
see.
corner
This
here,
is gonna
Marsh.
be great. All right, well,
see.
everyone
Oh,
tune
well.
in.
If,
to see
and if I
when they
lose,
flex.
oh well, I lose
No,
my flex.
No, you can't
no,
OL.
no,
You can't OL.
no.
I lose my
No,
flex credibility.
no OL.
You can't OL.
No OL.
There's no OL.
No OL.
It's very Orwellian
That's
of
not
you.
that. No.
I'll
No
never
OL.
say that word again on the show.
Don't OL.
Flex.
If you lose this, I want real tears
Okay.
for the AWL.
If you lose this, you have to drop another F-bomb. You have to say I fucked up. I'm
Yeah.
Jake Marsh and I fucked up.
Done.
And then the other F bomb too. Yeah, you gotta drop that
The
one.
Brenneman.
We're gonna make Jake do a Brenneman. All right. Yeah. Saints, whatever, dude. Ravens, Panthers. Another game we didn't have on, which this was the correct choice.
Nailed it.
Ravens defense is as good as we thought. Like they were. It's a bummer. I feel like PJ Walker could have won this game. Baker Mayfield was back in. It was a tight game. Then the Ravens defense had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. Kind of just like we're like, all right, enough with this shit, and won the game. And yeah, I don't really I guess I'll say something nice about the Panthers. I actually think the Panthers, depending on how the draft goes, they might be my bounce back team next year. They'll have a new coach. Their defense is good. Like their defense is pretty good and has some dudes. They still have DJ Moore. I'm gonna preemptively say Panthers bounce back team next year.
I think a lot has to do with who they hire as a coach, though.
That too.
Right? The Ravens have led by double digits in every single game this year.
Yeah.
So the Ravens, they can whomp any team in the NFL.
Yes.
That's what I'm taking from that. And they're 23-3. Lamar is 23-3 against teams with losing records.
Whoa.
So he's like pretty consistent that he beats teams that are beneath
You get
him.
credit for that.
You do get credit for it. Yeah, you can't really learn that much about the Ravens. You beat the Panthers.
Their defense
job.
is the Super Bowl future I made on the Ravens is based on their defense.
Yeah.
I mean Lamar it's going to basically be defense and then Lamar being electric.
Just if Lamar catches fire in the playoffs.
And they did because they do not have wide receivers, but Demarcus Robinson was great today, so maybe that's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mark Andrews isn't back yet. I don't believe.
No, he played.
He did
yeah,
play.
he is.
Okay, he did. So yeah, that was going to be my excuse for the Ravens offense sucking, and that's gone.
Well, the Ravens offense,
Good analysis.
it will occasionally suck.
Yeah,
That's just kind of who they are as a franchise. That's who they've been for quite some time. Once in a while, you're going to be like, wow, this team is just painfully bad
Right.
offensively. But anytime you have Lamar on the field, it's like, okay, any carry, he can take it 70 yards.
right. And I'm basically my faith is in the Ravens defense, Lamar being electric, Justin Tucker being electric.
I also, Justin Tucker being
That's essentially like the
Not
formula,
missing.
right? That's the formula that I'm banking on for them to make a deep run.
that motherfucker don't miss.
He doesn't.
Justin Tucker. I admire the Ravens' commitment though to not ever having a good wide receiver.
Yeah,
It's actually great. It's a good running bit that they've had for I don't know, since Anquan Bolden.
maybe that if Lamar, since he is his own agent, maybe that's what he says. He's like,
yeah.
I will take the initial deal you gave me. You have to get me 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, package
3.
deal. Do you think Lamar's going to be so good at being his own agent that he's going to represent other players too?
He should.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, Lamar should call Aaron Rodgers and be like, "You think you have it bad, bro? Come on." Mm-hmm. Like they tried to bring in fucking Dez Bryant like 10 years after he was good.
Or pretty
He
bad.
was a tight end. That was
bad.
their answer.
And he immediately got COVID. Remember that?
Yes.
if other guys in the league were smart and they wanted Lamar on their team, if I'm like a wide receiver on, I don't know, what's the team that's like a quarterback? If I'm a wide receiver on like the
Let's say Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
What team is he on?
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Where is Garrett Wilson?
What team?
It's a
is
good
he
question.
On? What team is he on?
Jets?
Oh,
Garrett
all right.
Wilson,
I was
okay,
just
okay.
random. I just picked a random
So
receiver.
if I was Garrett Wilson or Braxton Berrios, we can pick any one of these guys hypothetically. I would say, Lamar, you can be my agent, so you even get a taste of my contract if you sign with the Jets.
Yeah. The Jets would win the Super Bowl.
They
with
would.
Lamar right now.
Listen, if everybody on the Jets committed right now and said we're all firing our agent and Lamar is going to represent all of us, so he gets whatever it is, 5%, 10%, I don't know what it is in the
all
NFL.
Future?
Of all our future earnings of any contract that we sign, Lamar Jackson would be a Jet next year, 100%
that would
guaranteed.
be, yeah.
You should do that. If your defense is mad enough, they should reach out to Lamar.
Yeah, they should be like, we want you to represent us.
Well, we got to get to the off season, and in that meantime, we'll have to make do.
I just
Or
want to
like-
see. I want to see Lamar go to the Jets just so Billy's to be like, he's never going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Jets would. I think we said. Yeah, we were like, was it a conversation today or it might have been earlier this week where it's like Lamar on the Jets would be incredible.
Yeah.
They're such a good
17-0.
They're such a good defense. Like, why not? Okay. Rounding off, we have 3 more games. Raiders, Broncos. Somebody's got to win this game. Nathaniel Hackett. And then we almost had a tie, and then they forgot about Devontae Adams, who torched him for the game-winning touchdown on the opening drive of overtime. And I guess, like, this was one of those games where it's like, the winner, can you really celebrate? And the loser, you're really sad.
Yeah. I personally would have guarded the one good player that the Raiders had if I was the Broncos.
I think
in that
Patrick
overtime.
Surtain was on him, which sucks because he is an electric cornerback.
Nobody was on him.
Yeah,
no one was
he
on
had
him.
11 yards of separation.
11 yards. Yeah, that's probably being generous. He was wide open. It is really like a thank God we didn't lose situation if you're the Raiders. It's like, okay, well, I'm not getting fired after this game.
Yeah.
And probably not because Mark Davis
Is a broke boy.
is a broke boy.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett is pulling out all the stops.
Oh, yeah.
He gave up play calling duties before the game. He announced that he was no longer be calling the plays. So now he has
It's Clint Kubiak.
Clint Kubiak. He's also
Good
got
friends with office manager Brett.
Yep, he's got
Shout out to OMB.
an assistant that he brought in that's now like handling some of the game time decisions for him.
Yeah.
In terms of like when to go for it, different play calling parameters, and then this guy whose now job is actually to call the plays. So I'm not really sure what it is Nathaniel Hackett's doing anymore. He's just like hanging out
Yeah.
around the facility.
He's fist pumping. He was pretty fired up at
He might be
points
doing
in this
some,
game.
He might be doing some like part-time doctoring. I know
Yeah.
that's a passion of his.
I liked the Broncos uniforms in this game.
They were incredible.
Yeah,
the all oranges.
The
yeah.
all orange. And Russ wasn't terrible, except he had a terrible moment. Basically, the reverse of Taylor Heineke, where at the end of the game, it was after the 2-minute warning. Raiders had burned all their timeouts, 3rd and 10 for the Broncos, and he scrambled and just threw the ball like at his receiver's feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, just take a sack there, and there's another 40 seconds that go off this clock. And now the Raiders are, no timeouts, 1:20 instead of no timeouts, 1:45, and the Raiders were comfortably able to get down the field to tie the game. It was just, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? That's a 10-year quarterback. Like, you can't make that mistake.
Yeah, it's funny looking back as to what this offseason was telling us about this division, because we're like, oh man, this division is going to be insane. The Raiders, awesome. They got Josh McDaniels. That offense is going to be incredible. Broncos, Russell Wilson, new head coach, comes from Green Bay. Russell Wilson, great quarterback. They're going to let him cook. Broncos are going to be awesome.
Didn't you said during the stream that you bet on the Broncos to win the division?
I might have.
I mean, no, listen.
Yeah,
I'm,
maybe.
I'm joining you in shame because I guarantee you, someone go find the clip. I was like, watch out. Like, if the Broncos are good this year, Russ MVP.
Yeah, because there was
Like, couldn't be worse, those two takes.
there was 0 balls that touched the ground at the practice that we went to that one time.
Could not be worse. Like, you can't think of a worse take than Broncos to win the AFC West, Russell Wilson. Although that's a combined parlay. If
Yeah.
one happens, the other happens.
And I'm pretty sure that we were suffering from the altitude too when we were out in Denver when we were there. Probably had some mushrooms in our
Call me
system.
big guy.
And it was a bad take, but it's funny because we spent the entire offseason talking about how like different and crazy this division is going to be, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
as it's ever
Patrick
been.
Mahomes
which
being
is
awesome.
Patrick Mahomes will kick the shit out of you and suck your soul.
Yep.
The Chargers will be frustratingly good and consistently lose close games.
The Raiders will every now and then show a flash where it's like, oh my God, this is the Raiders offense.
And Derek Carr will be a very likable,
Yep.
kind of sappy guy, but you feel bad for. Who's the guy in Game of Thrones that constantly was it Greyjoy, the guy that gets his dick cut off?
yeah, Reek.
Yeah, that's Derek Carr. He's like, he seems occasionally to have his heart in the right place. You kind of root for him sometimes, but other times it's just like, this guy's being tortured his
Right.
whole life. And then the Broncos have an amazing defense
They're the exact same team as last year.
and
They-
then can't do shit offensively.
the Broncos would be 9-1 now if they scored 18 points in regulation. Every game, if they scored 18 points in regulation, they'd be 9-1.
Yeah.
They are the exact same team. It's free money. I don't want to say it's free money. It's free money. Gamble responsibly. The Broncos under every week is free money. They have the perfect combination of a very good defense, even without Bradley Chubb, and a horrific offense.
So with Hackett, we always talk about like the coaches saving my job moves. Giving up the play calling, I feel like that's a big one that
Yep.
they can do sometimes.
Yep.
Another one would be benching the quarterback.
So I was thinking about it. If you were if Russell Wilson had any semblance of being a normal person, I think that like maybe after Thanksgiving, so somewhere in like week 14, 15, yeah, just hammy, I'm out for the year.
Yeah.
Just wash yourself from this year because you are on the Broncos for the future. You're stuck with this team. They're stuck with you. Probably more they're stuck with you. Just hit a complete like Men in Black refresh. I'm out. Play the rest of the season. I come back next year. New team.
Yeah.
Like you have to do that because at this point, Russell Wilson starting week 18 and just sadly being the same Russell Wilson who's been terrible this year. And again, he wasn't that bad today. You have to just flush this and you have to bury this entire season.
Right. So there's zero chance that he gets benched. And if he did get benched, I'm pretty sure that they just fired Nathaniel Hackett immediately.
Right, but
'Cause if it comes down to the two of them.
he should do it himself.
I'm super excited to see what Russell Wilson does this offseason because he has to change him. He has to reinvent himself. And I'm just pumped to see what like deep dark hole of pseudoscience he falls down and gets super committed to.
Yes.
For the next like 5 months because it's going to be some fucked up stuff. He's probably going to do like an entire documentary special with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, goop.
I'm going to make candles out of my butthole.
Yeah, goop. Russell Wilson's goop. I'm looking right now. We have one more prime time that's going to get flexed.
What week is that?
And they might not flex that because it's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes versus
Broncos.
Russell Wilson.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm making that my flex of the year.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
It's coming off.
Imagine
Wow.
if we both win.
Yeah, you would root for that. You're so nice. Like, how can you not root for you to win and him to lose?
No.
That's just
I'd rather him
that's
win than
normal
me.
guy
Yeah.
Oh, I
behavior.
want you to lose so
My
bad,
early,
Jake.
my,
I want to become the flex king of this show.
my early reports are saying there's no shot they take out the Cowboys.
Oh no!
We'll see, though.
Oh
We'll see.
no! Okay. We got 2 more games before we do that. PFT, you got a couple more ads.
Yeah, before we get to the rest of the games, I want to talk to you about our great friends over at BetterHelp. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Unfortunately, life does not come with a user manual, so when it's not working out for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. BetterHelp is a great way to try therapy if you've never had it before. It's lower priced. A lot of times it helps if you can just take that first step and schedule an appointment, whether it's with somebody over a chat session or over the phone if you don't feel like talking to somebody via a face-to-face video call. And the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp, has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/PMT. That's BetterHelp. That's BetterHelp.com shopify.com/PMT. These recaps are also sponsored by Shopify. Forget the off-season work. Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere. Whether you're selling warm-ups or wall hangers, it's time to start selling with Shopify and join the platform simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. With Shopify, you're going to customize your online store to your brand, discover new customers, and build the relationships that create die-hard fans. Shopify fields all the sales channels to grow a winning business, from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, even across social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And thanks to 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, Shopify is on your team every step of the way. When you're ready to take advantage and take your winning idea to the world, team up with Shopify, the commerce platform powering millions of businesses down the street and around the globe. Try out Shopify for free today and start selling anywhere. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/take. That's shopify.com/take. Start selling online today at shopify.com/take.
Okay, last two games. Bengals, Steelers. The Bengals looked bad in the first half, and then the Bengals are back. 4 touchdowns for Joe Burrow. It looked bad. Like Joe Mixon got hurt, and then the second half they completely shut down. The Bengals defense, I don't know what they do. Just every halftime they come out and they're a different unit. And then Joe Burrow looked good, and P. Ryan scored, I think, three touchdowns. It was like, oh, this is the Bengals. And I thought about it, and I looked back, and if you're a Bengals fan, it's been a weird start to the season because there have definitely been points in time where you're like, oh, this Bengals team is a flash in the pan last year. They're at the exact same point they were last year. Last year, Week 11, they were 6-4. They then finished the season. Week 18, they had already clinched the division. They finished the season on a 5-2 run, playing that big win against the Chiefs. Go to the Super Bowl, like everything in front of them. I feel like I know that like years aren't. You can't be like, oh, it happened last year, so it's going to happen again. Yeah. But if you're a Bengals fan, you got to be in the back of your head being like, oh, look at the schedule. We're 6-4. We got a big game against the Chiefs in a couple weeks. Like we have basically the same setup where if we just get everyone healthy and put it back together, we're going to be in the exact same spot going into the playoffs.
And you might get Jamar Chase back. And Jamar has right now reached the point in his rehab where he's just pretending that he's not hurt. Yeah. He's like, you know what? They're telling me that I need to be using the crutches. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to come back and play football. So you can, if you're a Bengals fan, you can be like, I have every reason to be optimistic about what's going to happen at the end of the season, as long as we never have to play T.J. Watt again. Because I feel like T.J. Watt does get in the head. That interception was so insane. It was insane. It was nuts. I've never, like a wide receiver probably wouldn't catch that ball most of the time.
He's such a freak. He's an absolute freak.
He's disgusting. And he's just a guy that I think he's kind of owned Joe Burrow for the last, 3 matchups that they've had?
Two interceptions in 2 games this year.
And then I think last year he played pretty well against him. Yeah. That's a guy that would start to haunt your dreams a little bit.
Absolutely.
If you're Joe Burrow.
But if you're a Bengals fan, you are saying like it's crazy that they're in the exact same spot. Where they've at times looked great, at times looked bad, but they have everything in front of them. And if they get on a little mini run here in December, where, again, big game against the Chiefs, like at home against the Chiefs, in 2 weeks, don't overlook the Titans, but this is like the Bengals it's deja vu all over again, where it's like we're going to be sitting here in late December being like, are they good? Yeah. They've lost some weird games, but yeah, they're good.
I'm actually very comfortable with where we are with the Bengals right now, which is if you were to say, like, do we need to be respecting the Bengals more? I'd say no. I think we're respecting the Bengals the perfect amount.
I think
if they win both of those games against the Titans and the Chiefs, then yeah, we do need to be respecting them. But right now, I feel like I have the proper amount of respect for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Here's what I'll say about the Bengals in terms of 6-4, 5-5 teams in that range. They're by far the most dangerous. Like the Patriots, the Jets, and the Chargers are all in that 6-4, 5-5. Maybe even throwing the Colts at 4-6. Like the Bengals are in that group. You're like, yeah, maybe it's because we just saw it last year. But there's just something about Joe Burrow and the way they play defense in second halves of games. Like, yeah, they might just put it together and just go on this run again.
My instinct was to be like, no, the Chargers are my favorite team.
Yeah, right.
But then if you put the Chargers against the Bengals, I think the Bengals just whoop the dog shit out of them.
Yeah, of course they do. And I did like that they went with the Siberian tiger look.
I like it, but
You
I'm
didn't like it on the road?
No, I'm still getting used to it. So
Yeah.
it's like when you run into your teacher at the supermarket and she's wearing clothes that she doesn't wear to school, and you're like, oh, this is weird. I feel strange. Like, I know that you're the same person, but
Yeah.
you look different. Like, I understand that it's the Bengals that are playing this game, but I'm not used to it enough yet.
Yeah. My sidebar, my son, we walked by his school on Saturday. He's like, yeah, my teachers live there.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're right. They
true.
do. They live
ve-
there.
It's very true.
Yeah. But yeah, the I can't wait till they break it out in snow.
Yep, that's
Because
gonna be
in
the
the
best.
cold today looked awesome. When they break it out in snow, it's going to look awesome. But yeah, I think we're right. We're at the perfect spot of the Bengals.
We
that
have a healthy,
Right.
like, the right amount of respect.
They're
for them.
not as good as the Bills and Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they can't beat them in January.
Yeah,
because Joe Burrow can do anything.
The fact is, like, the Steelers could have beaten them today if the Pigeons showed up.
Yeah, that's
It was
true.
a pigeonless game.
And Kenny kind of showed some flashes.
What's
Second
the-
half wasn't great,
yeah.
but that's the Bengals defense.
I would like to see the ball jump out of Kenny Pickett's hands a little bit more.
And that drop by George Pickens at the end, obviously they ended up scoring. But yeah, that was I don't know. I if you're the Steelers, like, you just want to be in these games, TJ Watt be healthy and Kenny Pickett show some flashes.
Yeah, that's
And
about it.
We also had the which is crazy, we had a 1-1-1 stat line. Trent Taylor for the Bengals, 1 catch, 1 target, 1 catch, 1 yard.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Stat Hole
Perfect.
Sports tipped me off to that. That's just, I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, it's like
That's
the
a
Tony
fun
Snell
yeah,
stat.
Yeah, that's a fun stat to look at. Be like, oh, he had 1 yard.
I bet you Trent's listening to this right now.
Yeah, he is.
Shout Trent,
What up,
111.
Trent? Yeah, you're in our 111 club. Is Joe Mixon really hurt? What happened to him?
I don't know. I don't know if he's really hurt, but like they don't lose that much. And Joe Mixon is a good running back, but they don't lose that much when Perrine gets in.
Yeah, and the fact that they've been winning. Well, I guess this is off the bye, so they did lose to the Browns, but they can never beat the Browns. But oh no, they played the Panthers last week. The fact they're winning these games without Jamar Chase.
Oh wait,
like-
they beat the Panthers?
yeah, no, the
So,
Panthers thing's over.
The Panthers thing is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it also is dead because the Falcons beat the Bears.
That's right.
So it's over. It
Yep.
died. It died in a doubleheader today.
Gotcha.
All right. Last game brought to you by our friends at Roback. Last game, Roback game. Use promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. The joggers are incredible. I'm wearing them right now. I wear them all weekend long. They have Q-zips, polos, hoodies, everything. I'm telling you, though, the performance joggers are the most comfortable joggers I've ever worn. Perfect for the weekend. So check them out, roback.com. Promo code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Cowboys 40, Vikings 3. Hank, you're a Vikings fan. You want to speak about this game?
Season's over.
I mean,
You done chained him?
the fact that you jumped on, we've been so adamant that the Vikings are frauds, and you're like, you know what? They're good. And then this happens. That was a brutal twist.
Yeah, not good. And then I will say this to Vikings fans: if you lose to the Patriots Thursday, then the season's done.
Whose line is it anyway?
I know
You
what it
guessed
is.
3.5?
I know what it
Is the
yeah.
game-
I said it was 3.
Is the game in New England?
No, it's in Minnesota. I said 3 when Hank and I were talking about earlier. He said 3.5. I said 3.
I'm gonna say it's Vikings 5.
What is it? It's 3? Okay. Yeah, because I figured like 3.5, everyone would just jump on that. All the sharps, as they say. The Vikings are 8-2 with a negative point differential.
Yeah, they -2
-2.
point differential. And we talked last week about how they were the second worst point differential of any team to ever be 8-1. The number 1 team was, I think, the 76 Raiders, who ended up winning the Super Bowl that year.
Yep.
So every Vikings fan was like, "See, we can do it too." They did it. They had John Madden as a coach.
Oh.
He was pretty good, I'm pretty sure.
This is the worst Vikings home loss since 1963.
Ooh,
That's bad.
that stings. So out of 110 teams ever to go 8-2, they're the worst when it comes to point differential.
Oof.
100.
And-
That's a pretty big sample size.
And listen, I don't want to say we're right, but goddamn, we're right. We have been right. Yeah. Oh, Hank, don't give me that face.
It's week 11.
The Vikings.
The Vikings got their pants
The
pulled down.
Vikings have played two really good NFC teams, and they've gotten absolutely smoked by both of them. Like
What about the Bills?
You're right. But we're talking about the NFC and the playoffs in the NFC. The Vikings have had, like, the NFC's wide open. Absolutely wide open. But you'd have to say the Cowboys and Eagles are somewhere in the top, and they've gotten smoked by them. Absolutely smoked by them. And this one was never close. It was not only the Cowboys offense and Tony Pollard just being an absolute freak show, electric factory. It was Kirk Cousins fumbling on the first drive, and like
It's a good start.
it was just, hey, he didn't throw any interceptions.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, he threw like 105 yards?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
he was he was the Kirk Cousins that nice guy, good quarterback when things are going well, but man, did things not go well.
Are they gonna do anything like goofy stuff with chains and
I don't know.
put their jewelry on them after this game?
I needed this one. I needed this one to feel.
Sometimes it feels good to be right about a stupid take that we have.
Well, and it's also just a reminder that, like, I think the Vikings are still a good team. They still will go to the playoffs, but we know, like, this was just a little message from the future.
Yeah.
Being like, don't worry, guys.
Oh, listen,
Don't worry.
The Vikings are still a very good NFC team, but I don't think they're going to do any damage. I'm feeling very confident about the status of my ass with the Kirk Cousins tattoo situation.
Yeah.
I feel real good about that. I might double down on it and say, like, I'll get 2 ass cheek tattoos of Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying it yet, but I'm feeling confident enough to the point where, like, I'm feeling really good about the bets that we've made. Fun little stat that came out of this game, kind of similar to that Panthers thing. The last 7 teams that have beaten the Buffalo Bills lose next week.
Ooh, Bills beat it out of you.
They beat it out of you. So it goes back to 2001, all the way back to
Wait, what?
or sorry, 2021.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? Where we've been missing out on money.
Yeah, the Jaguars when they beat the Bills. Remember that?
Yeah.
9-6, the legendary game. Then they lose to the Colts the next week, going all the way back there. So it's a trend to keep your eyes out on.
Okay, yeah, that is a trend. That absolutely is a trend we need to start betting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game.
It was just
funny.
It was kind of funny.
It was
just kept
very
getting,
funny.
It just kept getting worse. This game was over when at halftime, Brett Maher, who I always want to say Dan Bailey's just the kicker on the Cowboys.
Yep.
Brett Maher made 2 consecutive 61-yard field goals because
Yeah.
they had to do a last-minute review of a CeeDee Lamb catch.
Which was an incredible throw and catch. Dak Prescott,
Yeah.
I think I saw the stat. It was a yard and a half out of bounds when he
Yeah.
caught it. Like, that's so far out of bounds.
Yep.
And he caught it.
And the first kick goes through, makes it by probably like a yard on the right section of the crossbar. And then they're like, oh, he has to kick it again. No chance he makes it again. It's 61-yard field goal. And then his second kick is even better than the first one. It's like, okay, this game's over.
This game is officially over. I'm not going to just rub it in on Vikings fans 'cause there's still a lot of season left. But they know. They know we know. And we know they know. That's the best way to sum this whole thing up.
Yeah, in a sick, twisted way, Kirk Cousins fucked me again on this one.
Why?
Because it would have been great if you beat the Cowboys for me.
Yeah, that's true.
And he just absolutely he shit the bed.
But we know that you know.
Yep.
And we know.
And it's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
You got to still root for your 8-2 team. Don't apologize for being 8-2.
No.
The Vikings will probably end up winning. I'll say I actually think they'll win 12 games. I think they'll go 12-4, okay? And they'll be looking good. They'll have a home playoff game. They might even have 2 home playoff games, actually, right? Yeah.
I mean,
They'd have 2 home playoff
a lot of
games.
stuff could happen because they only have 2 losses.
Right. They I think they're going to finish 12-4. They're going to be very good.
12-5.
What?
12-5.
12-5. Sorry, 12-5. My bad. 12-5. So actually, I might even say that 13-4. 13-4. They're going to finish 13-4. That's going to be a great record. They're going to win the North easily. They're going to have 2 home playoff games, and what happened today will happen again. And I won't take pleasure in it, but I have to report the facts. It's our duty to report the facts.
I take no pleasure in reporting this, Big Cat. I think the Vikings are only going to lose maybe one more game this season.
Yeah, no, they're
I think that there's a good chance. We're gloating a little bit, as is our right. but there's a good chance that the Vikings could end up with home field advantage.
Yeah, they play the Patriots and the Jets next 2 games at home with a mini bye after the Patriots. So, yeah, if they win Thursday night, I would agree with you because it's Lions, Colts, Giants, Packers, and Bears who are going to be dead by that time of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm saying right now 13-4 is absolutely what they're going to be.
I think
And it might be even better.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit better than that.
So just rest on that. You're going to win 13 games at least. And then this is going to happen and we're going to come right back to these seats. And again, I hate to do this cuz I'm just reporting the facts.
And Vikings fans, I think, they're great people.
They are.
There's nothing against Vikings fans out there. If you are, God bless you. Like, you've dealt with your fair share of shit over the years. But at the end of the day, we need to have an understanding that this is not personal between us, and that that we know, that
that we know
exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I have one like door to our castle that's open that I'm a little worried about. Wisconsin playing Minnesota on Saturday for the Axe, so I would like Wisconsin to win that. So because that's like there'll be some Vikings fans that will scurry in that door of our fortress, and that will suck for me personally. But then we'll go back to just regular.
That's fine. I mean, like, listen.
I know that door's open. I've been thinking about it. I literally started thinking about it last night, and I can't get it out of my head that like I'm gonna have to deal with those mentions. And then you know what? I'll deal with it like a man. I'll take it head on. But that other than that, the fortress is locked up.
I actually think that this is the type of loss that could actually be good psychologically for Vikings fans, because as we've said, like
right,
these the 2 losses that you have on your schedule, exactly
they're glaring
where the and there will be, as they continue to win and as they maybe win a playoff game or 2 playoff games, the Vikings army will swell throughout the playoffs, but it will be all for a moot point, and I think you'll understand that.
Yeah.
It'll be the least enthusiastic giant army of all time.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see you back here, same time, same place, somewhere around the divisional,
so
maybe even NFC Championship.
What we're doing is actually genius for us because the Vikings are going to continue to win.
Yeah.
And you're not at home allowed to get mad at us.
Right.
About the Vikings winning, because we're telling you, like,
we know.
You guys are going to kick ass. You guys
Right.
are going to win a shitload of games.
This is the part that we know.
Yeah. But the other part.
Yeah,
too.
the other part
Which
is the key part that we also know.
I'm not going to say what that other part is.
Right. Last point, and it actually is a perfect segue to Football Guy of the Week. Micah Parsons is a fucking psycho. He hurt his knee, went to the medical tent, came back into the game. The Cowboys were up 34 at this point. The guy he has to play football.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Up 34, he actually got injured and then went back in the game. I don't know if like Mike McCarthy just puts up his hands like I can't stop him from wanting to play football, but man, does that guy love football.
I love that. I love Dan Quinn. I love that he continues to rock the backwards cap.
Yep.
He's completely rebranded himself. What if, Big Cat, you know how you already said like preemptively you're putting your bounce back team as the Panthers?
Yeah.
What if they hired Dan Quinn?
Oh, that would be great.
That would be
that defense would rock.
He knows the division.
Yeah, that defense would rock.
The Cowboys. This is very encouraging for you because it probably makes you the front runner to get Odell Beckham as well.
Oh yeah,
with
I think that's pretty much going to happen.
Odell, I think he tweeted out something about like, "Oh man, you guys are going crazy." I just love that Odell he continues to just be like, "Want me?" Like I want you to want me.
Yeah,
they went crazy today. And then someone said, "Are you celebrating on the star?" And he said, with the mouth close emoji, "I miss Saquon."
Oh, I told you, Giants maybe.
So mixed signals.
I think from the no sources that I have, Cowboys for the remainder of this year, then Giants next year. All right, Football Guy of the Week, and we'll finish up with who's back of the week.
Perfect. So last week's winner was Sam Porter's friend. Sam Porter was the guy who texted his buddy and said that he was engaged with his fiance, and the guy just started talking about the football game that was on between Kansas City and the Titans. So He totally didn't realize that he was talking about not being engaged in football, but engaged in real life.
Yep.
So
Love
shout out
it.
Sam Porter's friends. So our first nominee this week is a bunch of dudes in Georgia who went to the Falcons game all dressed up as Mike Ditka.
That was cool.
That looks
like
like
it.
a fun time. I think it was a bachelor party.
Yeah, it was a bachelor party, and our colleague John Feidelberg pointed out, which I happen to agree with him, 20 dudes is a lot for a bachelor party. It's a
Yeah.
lot of dudes.
That's true.
That's a lot of dudes. That's a hard bachelor party to like wrangle.
Well, not.
What's the right number?
I'd say like 10 to 12.
Yeah, I was gonna say 12. 12. I would say inviting 12 and having 10 show up.
That's probably perfect.
That's right around the right number.
And so there were 20 guys on a Sunday morning that were all able to get their acts together, get dressed up in the same costume, and be at the game on time. That's a shocker.
And throw out what I said about the 20 dudes, because whatever his bachelor party has already happened. This is just more of like a future thing. That scene in the house, all of them like probably a little still drunk, getting drunk again, putting on all the costumes, that had to be the funnest thing ever. Like that is just the epitome of guy friendship, like being like, look how stupid we look.
Yeah.
Like and just getting a little goofy, like you're in that goofy hungover state and you have a couple beers, you get drunk again. I like saw that picture and I was like, God damn it, I wish I was there. That looks so much fucking fun.
That's kind of like a European thing. Almost like to all get dressed up together and go out to an event.
You just
guys
know.
don't do that much, but it's awesome.
Right, and it you know, like it's silly, but it's also so much fun, and it's just such like we need to do that more as guys. We need to just be hungover together, because that is the best part about a bachelor party is not going out. It's waking up the next morning and having like laughs about what happened and still being a little hungover, and that first dude who cracks a beer at like 9 a.m. being like, let's get the party started.
Yep.
That's, if I could bottle that friendship, that's the best friendship in the world.
Do you think after the game they like went out to a bar, met up with some girls, and then one of the girls started like making out with one of the Ditkas, and then forgot which Ditka she was hooking up with?
I like
and
that,
came
yeah.
back and another Ditka took her?
Yeah. Yes.
I think it probably happened.
Also, if they went to the game, I'd assume that some of them stayed the night, which also is very fun friendship of being like stolen time. We shouldn't still be on this bachelor party.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night. Like, what are we doing? Northside Tavern.
Mhm.
Shout
Oh,
out
man.
in Atlanta. Like that. Yeah, now I'm very jealous. These guys look like they had a fucking awesome time. So I take back the 20 thing.
It is still a lot of
It's
guys.
still a lot. It's
Yeah.
more, it has nothing to do with like, oh man, that's like too many friends to have. It's more like logistically is a headache.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get?
And it's
I
probably-
went on one in Miami that was a lot of dudes, and it was like we had to like go like when we went to dinner. It was like like they sat us in like like on couches because like we don't have enough seating for you.
It's probably also 3 different groups of friends, like 3 different eras of friendship.
Yes.
that the groom has. Can you imagine? What if you went to the Falcons Bears game today and you were just dressed up like Ditka, just because you'd been wanting to dress up like Mike Ditka at a Bears game, and you showed
Just
up
get-
and there's
yeah.
just like 20
Stunted
other
on,
Ditkas?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd go home.
But yeah, I love these dudes. These dudes, that's the text chain's gonna be popping off all week, being like that was the best weekend ever, and that's something that's goals.
Our second nominee is Wyatt Teller, offensive lineman for the Browns. His wife was concerned about him playing the snow, was asking all these logistical questions. She's pregnant, was very worried. And on the whole subject, Wyatt Teller just said, I like playing in the elements.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just,
fact.
Yeah, just a fact. Doesn't,
That is a
doesn't
fact.
matter about all the other crazy, dangerous stuff.
Yep.
There was some college football player that was a recruit. I think he was at Nebraska this weekend, and he showed up, and it was, I don't know, 16 degrees or whatever, and he came out there wearing short sleeve shirt just on the sidelines.
Ooh,
Because
I
he was
love
like,
it.
this is what I'm going to be playing in. I'm going to take my recruiting visit here just sleeveless.
Love it.
Our next nominee is Cam Smith on the Gamecocks. After beating Tennessee, about his halftime adjustments to the defense, this is what he had to say.
Just drop your nuts. Really, that's all it is.
What adjustments were made during that break?
Nothing. Just drop your nuts. That's all it is.
What?
I love it.
Like it.
Yep.
And our last nominee is a high school kid from Madison, Wisconsin, Henry Suddy, who was born disabled but ended up learning to walk because he wanted to play football.
Well, that's the winner.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, the dude's dressed like Dicka. You gotta feel like assholes now.
What about the guy that said we're just going to drop our nuts, though?
Yeah, no.
Well, this
What is
guy,
it? The kid.
this guy was inspired to play sports and learn to run because all of his older brothers played football, and he really wanted to play football.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, send
but
him.
you know,
Send him the nail and the football.
Vox Populi. What does? Yeah, that's how a football guy works.
Yeah, my vote.
Yeah.
My vote is for the disabled kid who learned how to run just to play football.
I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah.
So reinstate him, the football guy of the week.
Okay, let's finish up. Great show. Who's back of the week? Brought to you by our friends at Visible. With Visible's one-line wireless plan, you pay $30 a month, taxes and fees included, with unlimited data, so you can stream as much as you want from pretty much anywhere you want. Plus, it's all powered by Verizon. Yup, that network. Start saving with Visible's one-line wireless plan. Switch today at Visible.com and get up to $250 gift card when you buy a select device at Visible.com. Check it out now. The best wireless in the world. Henry.
Danny.
Can I say something?
No.
No, I need to say something.
Fine.
When you said that thing about my gambling karma, I think you're gonna get the ball tonight. Like it's been in my head, and I think you're gonna get it. I do. I think you're gonna get it.
My who's back of the week is just classlessness from like what Big Cat's showing right now.
Whoa, I said I think
classlessness
you're gonna
from
get it.
the city of Philadelphia.
What?
On Friday, Giannis.
Dude, you're lashing out.
Did you guys see the story?
You are.
Yeah, I did. I
You
saw
are
it.
in one of your little moods. I knew it when you
I don't
sat
know
down.
I did not. I am not from Philadelphia. I did not choose to not let Giannis, one of the best players in the league, take some fucking free throws after the game. Every player should be able to do that. Joel Embiid does it on the road all the time. So for some
You
reason,
have to request to do it. You have to request to do
When
it ahead of time.
Montrez-
He did not request to do it.
is there like an MVP? Like you've won an MVP or one of the best players in the league, you should probably be able to do whatever you want.
I mean, you're talking about Philadelphia who tried to starve the Houston Astros.
Right.
There was a worker there who was paid to do his job. His job was to change the courts after the game, not to wait around for Giannis to get his little free throws in because he missed 11 free throws and blew the game against the Sixers.
Yeah, and Max
And
also
he went on a temper tantrum, and God forbid there was somebody underneath that ladder when he threw it to the ground.
Yeah, could have
Also-
hurt someone.
Max, let's
been
remember
you.
that when Giannis practices free throws, he probably takes the full 11 seconds
Yes.
in between each one. So it's probably adding an extra like 45 minutes to this guy's night.
I just love that Max came like locked and loaded with the facts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was very into this story.
Hank,
very into this story.
Hey,
For people who didn't see, Giannis was trying to shoot his free throws after the game, and there was a guy trying to take down the hoop with a ladder, and Giannis was literally pushing the ladder out of the way as the poor worker, depending on which side you're.
Well, I mean, if you're
thinking
telling me
about.
that was Joel Embiid, like they're not going to let him shoot the free throws.
Well, it's your court.
Yeah.
It's your court.
Listen,
Montrezl
Hank-
Harrell went and took the ball from
No,
him.
this guy's
it's
got a
the
family
NBA's
to
court.
get home
They're
to.
all-
Wrong.
No, that's correct.
Not the NBA's
No,
court.
it belongs to the
It is NBA's court.
76ers.
It's a brotherhood. It's a family. All the rules apply to all the different places. NBA does it all the time on the road. That's what I don't get. Where it's like Philly people are just like.
I looked into it. You have to request. You have to request before the game.
Looked into it, Hank.
If you want to work out after the game at the court, you have to make a request before the game. Giannis did not make the request.
Also, the basket,
We need this clipped. I need this social clip.
the basket on the other end of the court had already been taken down. So it was like they were waiting for that was the last thing to do.
They're trying to change it to the ice,
So-
Hank.
Max, what kind of research did you do when you said that you looked into it?
So many tweets.
So, well, for the Barstool Invitational, same venue, they ripped apart the court immediately after
Really?
the buzzer. Yeah.
Shit.
I went to pack myself up after going to the bathroom
It was
after
gone?
the buzzer, and the hoops were down. The center court sticker was gone. Yeah.
They want to go home.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so Hank, just because like Giannis says that all these other people need to stay around and work until I don't know 1, 2 a.m. when they got a family to get home to, like you don't sympathize with those workers?
No, the guy's gonna get some free throws up.
No, Hank hates the blue collar workers.
It
that's
is sad.
fine. That's fine.
Hank, what if
As a
after
suit, Hank has shown
Yeah.
nothing but contempt
Hank-
for the common man.
what would you do if after we finished recording tonight, I was like, wait, Hank, stay here. I want to practice my ads.
Well,
You would
fucking,
roll your eyes at me.
No, 2 days ago you were like, "Hey, stay here. I'm gonna fucking pull the lottery bomb machine 12 times."
That was awesome.
You could have left.
It's my lottery ball machine, and it needs to stay warm. It's like a car. It's wintertime, Hank. Make sure you look after your automobile.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I didn't care for it, but it is what it is. It's, you know.
This didn't go the way you thought it would.
No, I mean, I don't. Listen, people are gonna come at me and say I'm being a hater, but I'm just bringing light to the people.
I don't think anyone's gonna say you're a hater.
No,
absolutely not.
My other who's back of the week is just goats. Messi and Ronaldo.
Yes.
Took a picture together.
Those guys are very handsome.
They're attractive. They were playing chess in the picture. Fun fact about that chess match.
On a Louis Vuitton bag, I think.
Yeah. Fun fact about that chess match that they were playing in. That board is the exact same setup as our GOAT, Magnus Carlsen, in his legendary match against Hikaru.
With the butt plug?
No, different. But this one was the non-Adelbeeds one.
Got it.
Because Ronaldo definitely would have been the one that had the accoutrement.
Yes. Messi probably won that match.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah, looking at it.
This is a legacy cup for Messi.
Yeah. I bet on them.
For sure.
I bet on Argentina, which means they will probably not make it out of the group stage.
Oh, they will.
We're going to have a big World Cup preview with Taylor Twellman on Wednesday's show. So get ready for that. PFT, your who's back?
Yep, my who's back of the week. I got a couple of them. First one is Joe Flacco. We talked about him earlier today. This tweet just came across my desk. Stephen A. Smith said, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if I were the New York Jets, I'd actually bring in Joe Flacco right now. Zach Wilson is giving you nothing. I'm not giving up on the kid, but this is too important. Bring in Flacco.
It feels like he's giving up on
He's
him.
giving up on. So Stephen A. Smith agrees with me. Another great football mind. So yes, bring in Joe Flacco. My other who's back is also the World Cup. We had the first game today, but most importantly, the pageantry ahead of the World Cup and the opening ceremonies, highlighted by FIFA's president Gianni Infantino, gave a great speech. He said, "Today, I feel Qatari. Today, I feel Arab. Today, I feel African. Today, I feel gay. Today, I feel disabled. Today, I feel a migrant worker."
Wow.
It was very Michael Scott-like, the way that he chose to address this.
Okay.
Didn't really do anything besides just make everybody around him super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And then they had the opening ceremony where they introduced the mascot, who's just a giant like white sheet that floats around everywhere like a ghost.
That's cool.
That was kind of cool. They had the opening, the induction ceremony, and I didn't realize this, but MBS from Saudi Arabia, our guy, he was hanging out right there on stage next to the head of FIFA, and then it turns out that Qatar got their ass kicked 2-0.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's quite a statement to give.
And USA plays today.
And USA plays today.
2 Eastern.
You're going down, Wales.
Coming home. Gareth Bale. You don't want this. Don't start nothing. There won't be nothing. Will you say something? Oh, I thought you clicked in. All right, my who's back is college football chaos figuring itself out. I know we talk about college football on Wednesdays, but what a Saturday. And the story of the day was Tennessee fans, who I feel bad for because they have always been kind to me with the Doug's era, but they spent the majority of the day expecting TCU to lose. TCU did not lose. Then spent the middle period of the day saying TCU sucks and they would get blown out by everyone, and then they got blown out by South Carolina. And it's just a tale as old as time. The college football, the chaos. It's not always Tennessee. It's someone else. Just when you think that you got it all figured out, something like that happens, and that's why it's the best sport.
It does figure itself out.
It's crazy.
Tennessee's defense stunk.
Oh my
big
God,
time.
were they
it
bad.
was like a joke how bad they were.
Spencer Rattler looked like Spencer Rattler that we all have dreamed of.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Now again, in my my projected draft order, I've got Spencer Rattler number 1 and Bo Nix number 2.
Yeah.
Next year, as we've all expected.
Yeah. It was a crazy day. The UCLA USC game was fucking awesome. Caleb Williams is insanely good. Insanely good. I saw some people saying, like, why are we talking about this next year's draft? Why aren't we talking about the year after with Caleb Williams? Like, yeah.
This was a game where I think it was 76.5 as the over-under. And I was like, yeah, that's a big number, but that's such a big number that I have to take the over. And then it ended up getting, 93 points in that game?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was insane.
It was awesome.
It was insane.
Sucks what happened to Hendon Hooker at the end of that game. That was tough to watch.
Yeah, that really did suck.
Because
he's been awesome this year.
And he probably would have been like a 5th rounder last year. And now it looked like he was going to get up into like 2nd, maybe 1st round
and also,
this year. But now he gets hurt. It stinks.
And it also is like Tennessee would have, they beat Vandy next week. They're in a New Year's Six Bowl. Now you don't know if you can beat Vandy. Joe Milton just throws the ball 10,000 miles an hour on every pass.
Yeah, and also, Vandy beat Florida.
Yeah. No, Vandy's kind of back.
Stinks for Florida.
Vandy's kind of back.
That's Hank's pick, right?
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would. But you know what? I'm gonna back up my boy Hank in a rare case here. The victory lap that he got to do after week 1 was worth it because that was awesome. When it was like I got him at 25 to 1. What was it? 250 to 1?
I think it was like 25 to 19.
No.
That's what it went from.
Oh yeah, right. And you were like, look at this, sharp. That's. No one's good at gambling. That's the fun. As being like, wow, I got value. All right, Billy.
My who's back is Chad Kelly and Sean Oakman.
Yes.
The Toronto Argonauts are your CFL champions.
All right.
Congrats to
Cup
them.
champions.
I gave it out as a pick. No big deal. Argonauts plus the points.
How drunk do you think Swag Kelly's getting tonight?
He's crying currently.
Keep him away from the vacuum cleaners.
He got very emotional. But crazy story, McLeod Bethel Thompson, the starting quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, hurt his hand in the fourth quarter, and Chad Kelly got in the game, went 4 for 6 for 43 yards and 2 rushes for 21 yards, and mounted a game-winning drive where A.J. Alouette ran in the touchdown. But Chad Kelly getting in the end of the game in the fourth quarter to win a championship, that's something that wasn't on your score.
I love the CFL. This game was 4-0 at one point, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it always looks so fucking cold, and everyone's so hyped up. So congrats to the Argonauts.
12 guys on the field on each side and 3 downs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you kick a field goal and miss it but don't get it out of the end zone, it's
a
1
rouge.
point.
Yeah, rouge.
Yeah,
that's how it
wild.
became 4-0. Yeah.
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 So
But,
this was Rob Ford's favorite team, right?
It was.
So Rob
Yeah.
Ford, you have to imagine
Smiling.
looking down from
Heaven.
heaven and seeing Swag Kelly. Like
He would have loved
probably
Swag
would have
Kelly.
loved Swag.
Rob Ford is the Toronto Argonauts Harambe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good point.
He's just
great
up there
point.
smoking crack.
I was going to say that Rob Ford's also the Swag Kelly of Mares.
Yeah. He is.
It
He
really was
absolutely is.
a touching ending.
Perfect team.
And Sean Oakman, I mean, both those guys, very different types of adversity, but crazy to see them winning a championship on a Sunday.
Very cool. Very cool. Jake.
My who's back is coin tosses. We had an interesting story out of the FCS world over the weekend.
Oh.
The bracket just came out, and there was a tie in first place of the Ohio Valley Conference.
Okay.
Tennessee Martin and Southeast Missouri State were both 5-0. They went down the whole list of tiebreakers. They were all even. They had to do a live streamed coin toss on Twitter
Oh,
to
that's
determine
awesome.
who got the bid, and Southeast Missouri State won.
Was it
That's
Tails?
awesome.
No, Tails failed. They called
Oh,
Tails.
That's bullshit.
I don't know who
no.
got to call it, but they did a Twitter live stream for a coin toss.
You
to
got to
see
go best out of 3.
Who could go into the tournament?
That's such horseshit that Tails lost.
That
Coin
would
rigged.
suck so
You know
bad.
that-
What was it?
That's an
Ohio
NFL?
Valley? Ohio Valley
Yeah.
rigged.
You know that's an NFL tiebreaker. It's step 12.
Yeah.
That's also a Big
Oh, yeah.
Ten tiebreaker.
Oh, yeah.
The Big Ten. If it was like
And
Penn,
the NFL draft, which happens
Yeah.
like every year, right?
it was Penn State,
Yeah.
Ohio State, Michigan. If they had like done the 3-way, and they all
would've been a
finished the
coin
same record, it would
toss.
have been a coin toss. See who goes to Indy.
Can you imagine what it would be like if, like, to determine playoff seeding or whether or not you make the playoffs, they have a coin toss for it? You could probably sell out like a basketball arena or even a
Yeah.
stadium. Sell out the stadium just for the coin toss.
Yeah. Oh,
That would be incredible.
pay-per-view coin toss.
Could you imagine? Yeah, an NFL, like step 12.
That would be so sick. I'd watch that.
Usually we get to like
I'd
step
bet
like
on
4
that.
or 5.
I'd bet on that.
max.
Yeah, I mean, I bet on the coin
So
toss.
did
in the
Rob
Super
Ford.
Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Numbers.
6-9.
17.
Oh.
Let's go 15 for Anthony Richardson.
Hank, have you ever gotten this?
Nope.
Can you give me a number, please?
He said
I
15.
just gave you.
No.
20.
For me.
No.
Come on.
No.
Just one number.
I've had enough of your shenanigans.
Oh, why?
And
What?
after what you did last Thursday, absolutely not.
One number.
No.
Give me a number.
No.
What's your birthday?
You don't remember.
His
June.
birthday
June-
is June 16th or 17th.
16th?
Who's to know?
All right, I'll go 16.
Well, 17's already taken.
Wait, I'm
Or
going to log
maybe-
into our HR system.
Well,
out.
no, I'll find it.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
Because I remember last year the Papadita Day was on a Sunday night, so I'll just go to June 2021,
Nice. That's some
Whatever that-
context clues.
whatever that Sunday is, which was June 13th.
June 13th. Wow. Fuck. I knew that.
We need Elon to bring back
Guys shouldn't know each other's birthdays.
Yeah. But we used
You
to
guys
know him
don't
because of
shut
Facebook.
up about yours.
It's birthday week, Hank. It's different.
Exactly.
What do you want us to do? All right. Well, we've gotten it robbed from us because it's not Super Bowl week anymore, so you
18.
won't hear about it anymore.
It's true.
All right. So what is it?
I took 17. Which is
17. I have
interesting 'cause
13
69.
for Hank's birthday. 69. 18. What's yours? 15.
15. Anthony Richardson.
17 just came up, right?
Yeah.
But we've
It's
had
hot.
a lot of
It's
repeat.
hot.
Yeah.
What is it? What's yours?
20.
Elon Musk, bring the birthdays to Twitter because I don't know anyone's birthday after Facebook.
It is on Twitter.
Yeah, if you
I know,
click,
but I want
you
the
see
alerts.
balloons.
I want the
Wait.
alerts.
Everyone's picking low numbers. Hank, you can take 13. You can take your birthday. I'll do something higher.
I'm good.
You
Thanks.
sure you don't want 13? Last chance.
Yeah, I mean, I had the chance to say it. I didn't. So.
I know, but I'm giving you a chance right now to take 13.
Would you want 17 instead? I'll go high.
I'll go high too. You get to pick 13, 15, or 17. Which one would you like?
Oh, fuck.
What if we, Hank? What if we give you both 13 and 17?
No.
deal,
We're not
deal,
doing
deal,
no
deal.
deal.
I
No
said
deal.
what if?
No.
I never said
what
I'd do
if.
it. It was
Would you like
hypothetical.
13, 15, or 17?
I'm going to start writing down my numbers.
All right,
and
you-
giving them to Jake.
You get to pick 13, 15, or 17. Which one do you
15.
want? 15. Okay. Hope you're right.
I'm gonna take 17.
I'm gonna stick with 13. Oh, 64.
Whoa, 2 out of 3.
This shit is easy.
Oh my god.
This shit is easy.
Wait, that's back to back because we did 2 on Friday.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
we did do 2 on Friday.
It's not back to back.
It's
Jake.
been
Back to back
Which-
shows.
Yeah,
Which one was 64?
And
was
they
it the
also
first
diluted
one?
everything by
one?
pulling 97
What was? Did we
practice
do
ones.
back to back in the end, or was it? In the, did we do
No,
one
we
in
did the
beginning?
second one was in the beginning.
Yeah, the first one I have written down as 64, but
So
we
it's
went
2
in
out
or-
of 3.
Did we go in order on
Figure it
Thursday?
out, Jake.
Either
2 out
way,
of 3.
it's 2 out of.
So
it's
tell us just
back-to-back
what's
shows.
the last 6 numbers?
There's 4 numbers left.
No, but what's the last 6
Oh.
numbers that pulled from the machine?
Let's go 7. Let's go.
7.
Let's go 9.
9. Okay, give me the last 9.
44, 44, 12, 12, 45, 31, 64, 33, 64.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this machine is. You can read this machine.
So the last 9 drawings, there's been.
You want one more, Hank?
numbers.
You want one more?
No.
I want one.
All right, this one won't count.
64 is now in
69.
second place.
This does not count.
I'm
This does not count. This does not count. This does not count. No one gets a number. We'll see everyone on Wednesday. Extra long episode for Thanksgiving. 43.
Love you guys.
Look, you're fine.
Love
you weren't
you
even
guys.
close.
Love you guys.
No more.
Love you guys.
One more.
Love you guys.
Bison walk towards snowstorms instead of away from them because it's shorter to get through. You would have heard this
71.
last week, but Max
you
played the
get
music
71.
over.
too close for comfort.
Oh, that's 17 backwards. That's crazy. Do one more
I'm stopping this.
as a joke.